You are looking live at the Hershey Park Stadium, and game number 4, the main event. 2 top 10 teams nationally in the top 25 this week, playing for a state championship in Quad A. The champion out of the West. It's a rematch of a year ago, Erie Cathedral Prep. And out of the East, the champion, it's Central Bucks West, winners of 59 in a row, and in search of their 4th consecutive PIAA championship this evening. Erie comes into this game with a record of 13-0. Central Bucks West 14-0. And we're going to take you right down towards midfield right now, where you get to meet the captain's referee, Alan Lubas. We'll go over some of the pregame rules, and let's take you there right now.
Cathedral Prep, you have won the toss and elected to defer. Is that correct?
Number 6, Bill Giacomo. Number 32, Andrew Gold. Number 41, Dave Camper. And number 16,
Central Bucks West, you elected to receive. And you have elected to kick away from the board. Is that correct? You want to turn that way, please? Back this way. Leave me down here.
And number 59, Charles Rupp.
Okay, fellas. Good luck to you all.
All right, there's Alan Lubas, your referee. These teams are dotted with Division I talent. Erie Cathedral Prep, what a game it was a year ago, 14-13. Andrew Elsing blocking an Ed Hinkle punt with 2:38 left. West somehow survives to win their 45th in a row. 2 great programs, and this has been the matchup everybody was hoping would happen, and it occurred.
Absolutely, Jed. You mentioned that they're nationally ranked, both of them nationally ranked in the top 10. The mythical USA Today national rankings. Central Bucks West, number 8 in the nation. Erie Cathedral Prep, number 5 in the nation. Fox Sports, they have Erie Cathedral Prep at number 5 and Central Bucks West at number 7. Great talent on both sides of the ball. This should be a beauty. Much anticipated matchup throughout the state of Pennsylvania, throughout the eastern seaboard tonight, right here at the Hershey Park Stadium.
We're going to take you through the sights and sounds of the Hershey Park Stadium. What a weekend it has been, championship-wise, with our national anthem. Atmosphere here for this Quad A championship, a rematch of an epic of a year ago, won by West 14-13 against Prep. Jed Donahue, along with Mark Shuey and the coach Gary Sutton, a privilege for us to bring you the 2000 PIAA football championships. Mark, this has been what everybody thought might happen. We'll talk a little bit about how Prep had to survive the quarters against Altoona in a rematch where they had to really use some late drama. But for West, the beat has gone on as usual.
There you see the game conditions, 25 is the temperature, possibly dropping a little bit. Winds will probably not be a factor. And this game is on the Information Superhighway. You can log on www.piaa.org and listen to the live streaming video of this football contest. We're going to get into some keys of the game for Erie. Special teams could be a key. They missed 3-point after attempts last week against Mount Lebanon. And need I remind anyone of a certain crucial block punt of last year? Also, they've got a size advantage on the line of scrimmage. Dale Williams tips the scales at 305. Charles Rush, 280. They've got to use that to your advantage and adjust to the various looks that CB West will throw at you. What did Coach Mike Mishler say of Erie? He looked at 81 different formations offensively from CB West in the game tapes he's looked at. This is going to be a beauty.
Rodney Payne to kick off. The deep men are James West and Zach Ingram. Pair of home run hitters deep there. They'll kick it high and they'll kick it short. The ball bounces up. It's Phil DiGiacomo. DiGiacomo springs out of there with it. And he bounces out of bounds to about the 36-yard line. Now let's have a look at the Central Bucks West offense as it comes onto the field right now. A lot of familiar names.
Including this one right here, Mike Oriole, veteran quarterback. DiGiacomo, he's been around. It's running back by committee. James West, DiGiacomo, Dave Camburn, these guys will all see action. And there's the offensive line. Gene Rich has been coming on as of late. He's a good one.
And Outen is really, really tough as well. Here's the first play. Oriole going to do some play action. Going to keep it himself. Got around the corner across the 40. And he's got it up near that 44-yard line. Tackle is going to be made by Dale Williams. Also Ed Hinkle over there along with Joe Dupre. Dupre is already committed to the University of Kentucky, and here's their defense. The big fella is Charles Rush. Dupre, the inside backer. Philip Lupo is also a playmaker. All of these guys were here a year ago. Josh Lusting, he is a William and Mary future, and Ed Hinkle, Pitt, many others. We'll talk about him more at the quarterback position. So a very solid defense stacked with power and speed at 2nd and 2 as Oriole runs 8 yards on first down. DiGiacomo's first carry, nothing doing. Eric Fields got him. Bang, bang, maybe a loss of a yard. Field, a 6'1", 210-pound senior.
Out of his defensive end spot, just shook a blocker right there, and bang, he hit DiGiacomo right there. Textbook tackle. Great play. Eric Field out of his defensive end spot. You mentioned the size of Erie Cathedral Prep. Their front line, Dale Williams, 305. Charles Rush, 280. Matt Parsons, 270. Decided advantage in the size department.
No gain. Central Bucks West will run so many different sets. Oriole pass for West, incomplete. Looking for James West out on the flat. They will run a lot of things, try and get on the edge. They feel they have a lot of speed that they can utilize.
It's a 3rd and 2 play, so Mike Mishler decided to go 7 in the box. Let him try to beat you on the throw, and that's exactly what CB West tried to do. Went off the hands of James West. Punting situation, 4th down.
The big concern for West, one of them is Dave Camburn has a sprained ankle that he suffered last week against Bethlehem Catholic. He is their game breaker. He's a guy with 16 touchdowns of 40 yards or more. They'll punt it out of there. Ed Hinkle gonna field it. Nope, pulls away from it. Hinkle's returned 2 punts this year of 50 and 90 yards, and now we get to talk about him at the quarterback position. Let's have a look at Erie Cathedral Prep on the offensive side, and they feature many different weapons, an arsenal of talent. 45-yard punt that time for CB West. Ed Hinkle is the quarterback. Take us through the rest of it here, Mark.
Ed Hinkle, fine quarterback, 1,400 yards throughout the season. They've got a couple of game breakers on this offensive lineup. Jawan Walker is one. Tim Dance is another one. These guys, they're going to have to contain. Central Bucks West will have to contain these 2 guys to be successful tonight.
10-15 here in the opening quarter as Prep has their first possession of the evening down near their 11-yard line. This will be Jawan Walker. He is hit immediately in there. This will be a slam-bam game, especially in the lane. Tackle is made for West in there. Gene Rich, as we look at him, he's their leading sacker on the year. Potter, longtime starter at linebacker in their secondary, featuring a lot of speed as well. Ingram, Camburn, again, the sprained ankle's got to be a concern, and then James West, who's maybe the fastest player they have.
Well, if anyone can shake off some bumps or bruises, it's Dave Camburn. To a man, Central Bucks West, the team says he's the toughest guy in the unit.
Motion man. Hinkle. Handoff Walker again. Nothing doing. West crawls all over it. Tackle is going to be made down there by Angelo Varillo. 6'3", 270-pound senior.
Watch this hit from Angelo Varillo. He's a defensive tackle, left side of the ball, just fills the hole. That's a great defensive effort.
They got 3rd and 6 right now as Lustig comes out with a play from Mike Mishler, the head coach for Erie Prep. How about that game a year ago? Andrew Elsing blocking a punt late. We'll be checking in Gary Sutton here momentarily.
You know, a lot of guys got banged up in that particular ball game. We'll detail that throughout the night, but that was a classic matchup.
Hinkle's going to roll. Hinkle's a great runner if he can get the edge. This time pulls back, throws incomplete. There was nobody open at all. Downfield looking for Tim Dance, but he was well covered by James West, and Prep is going to have to punt the football away.
I'll tell you what, Fran Golden, the safety for Central Bucks West, did a nice job coming up and pinching in so that Hinkle doesn't get that corner. That's a key to this ball game as well. Central Bucks West, they want to keep Ed Hinkle in the pocket. They do not want him. You saw the speed there. They don't want him coming out of the pocket. He can make good things happen for Erie Prep if he gets out of the pocket. Very athletic quarterback.
The field position chess game advantage CB West here as a result of a 3 and out. And I do believe somebody jumped off, maybe for Central Bucks.
I think, yeah. Jumped
Zach Ingram, maybe. They're debating it. We got 8:46 left here in this opening quarter. Still in a feel-out stage. And here we go.
Dead ball. Encroachment on the defense. Still 4th down.
We were talking about last year's ball game, Jed, and the Erie Prep guys, they say that everybody on the team had aches and pains and hurting after that particular ball game. For Central Bucks West, they lost to Giacomo, Cam Byrne, a couple other guys. Dustin Fashotti went out with an injury.
Hinkle back to punt. This time hits a low line drive to Giacomo. He's a very shifty runner, but he's going to get strung out. Now Giacomo tries to get upfield, and he's about right near the 50 or the 49. Hit out of bounds that time by Tom Heath. Also in on the play is Jason Easter.
There you see the run back by Giacomo, lead blocker up front. But they just strung it out, pushed the Giacomo out of bounds.
37-yard punt for Hinkle. We'll go to Gary Sutton after this next play here. Still scoreless. West on offense now for the 2nd time. Here's James West. He's coffee quick to the outside, has about 5 or 7 yards. Eric Field from behind, also Jawan Walker. Well, Gary, one thing when you see the Quad A guys get out here, the size and the speed is certainly something you notice right away.
Well, something you notice right away is big. I mean, you know, you talk about these guys. I mean, this is the biggest guys you're going to see in the whole tournament. But one of the things you're going to notice, particularly with CB West here, is they're on offense right now. Mike Mishler of Erie Cathedral Prep said they have 55 different sets that he's counted in the films that he's studied. It's a very complicated team offensively. You think they just run the ball all the time, but they come out of so many different sets. So he put a brand new defense in this. We'll go keep an eye on Erie Cathedral Prep to see exactly what that defense does. So far, it's been very successful.
They'll try and confuse the senior Oriole with different formations tonight. Another pitch to West. He steps through. Look out. He's got a 1st down. Still chewing up yards to the 34-yard line. He's got a gain of 10. Well, West is a guy that, you know, talking to the Central Bucks people, that they really like. It's a guy that, you know, not only is he quick, but, Mark, he can get it done in the lane.
Yeah, and look at the left side of the line here. Gene Rich leading the way for James West. These guys, Rich came out of his guard spot, pulled. Opened up a nice hole for James West. Here you see it again. Good enough for a 1st down.
Here's Oriole. Motion man is going to be Potter. They're going to try James West this time to the strong side of the field, and he is hit and dropped. Sensational play is made by Philip Lupo, linebacker. He's only 5'7", 185 pounds.
Yeah, Phil Lupo sneaks in here. There's blocking out in front. You can see DeGiacomo's leading the charge out there. There's Gene Roof again. And Lupo comes in, somehow sneaks in, 5'7", wiggled his way in to make a nice tackle. Gain of only 1 on the play.
There's your time remaining as you look at Phil Lupo right there. CB West looking now, as you can see on your screen as well. 2nd and 9. We're streaming video as well of this on the web at PIAA.org. Here's Oriole, back to pass. Pocket collapses, got a man. Pass caught, 1st down. Believe it's Gavin Potter. Make that Golden, rather. Fran Golden, a 5'9", 180-pounder. 17 yards and a first down.
Play action pass, gets some nice blocking up front, sits in the pocket, and Golden comes in with just a drag across the middle, hits him in stride.
So they're at the 18-yard line. Now they're showing a power eye. This time, quick handoff, James West. He is going to get hit. I believe it's Ed Hinkle in on the stop. Quickly down to Gary on the side. Gary?
Boy, I'll tell you what, just standing here on the sideline watching all these different sets in action right now is something to behold, guys. As Mark said, they give you all that counter action. They give you the quick handoff up the middle. They give you about 3 different receivers running some very sophisticated patterns out here. I'd hate to be Erie Cathedral Prep right now trying to stop this. They've been doing a great job, but Central Bucks West on a heck of a march.
Gain of 6 for West. Again, they have so much misdirection, deception. This time it's just a power move, and down he goes immediately. Is that Big Charles Rush in there?
That's Big Charles Rush. First time we've heard from him tonight, and it won't be the last. He is a monster. This is a great play from Charles Rush. This is just a power run to the left side of the line. Look, Charles Rush comes in from behind and makes the tackle. There he is.
He's going to be at UCLA next week at his first recruiting visit. Little difference in temperature, but he's hot there. He is a difference maker. That is the best down guy in the state of Pennsylvania up front, period. 3rd and 5 as Oriole takes to the air. He's under the gun, and the pocket collapses, and he's flushed down at the 16.
Charles Rush again.
He's an absolute handful. Also in there was Ed Brown.
That's one of the keys defensively for Central Bucks West. You have to neutralize. You have to know where Charles Rush is on the field.
So 4th and 9, and West is going for it here. This is the one thing about balance. More than 1,200 yards on the year for Oriole. Giacomo played a couple of games at the quarterback position. Here it is. They'll go to the strong side of the field with double wide. Oriole rolling. Looking, on the move. Throws right through the hands. Incomplete, and the Prep defense stiffens. And the pass was intended for Zach Ingram over there at about the 9-yard line, and great coverage by Jason Easter of Erie Cathedral Prep.
Mike Oriole has some time. He sees Ingram. Ingram finally shakes free of the defender. But I'll tell you what, it's a cold night, and that ball was there, though. Yeah, that ball was there. You got to make that catch, but a hot one like that can sneak through the hands.
So here comes the Prep offense. They have so many games of 50 or more points. Talk a little bit about their win over Altoona. Here's Hinkle over the middle, intercepted by Ingram at the 25-yard line. An ill-advised pass for Hinkle, and Ingram stepped right in front of the intended receiver and had an easy interception out of it.
Ill-advised pass for Hinkle. He's going to Josh Lustig on a slant across the middle. Lustig a step slow. And he led the pass a little too much. Here you're going to see it again.
Now we'll see if West cashes in here. There's your time remaining as Mike Oriole. Calming influence. There's Zach Ingram. He just had the interception. Those stars are for good deeds. Interceptions, fumbles, touchdowns, and the like.
Well, he gets another star. That was a good deed. Zach Ingram, his first turnover in the ballgame.
I've seen a couple of guys for West over the years. I think they had to change a different helmet. They are so good. 59 games in a row they have won. Again, the number 18 in the nation. Oriole, play action again, looking downfield, and this one is intercepted, I believe. No.
I'll tell you, that's a great athletic play by Josh Lustig. Yes, it is. Here you're going to see the play action fake. Rolling left, turning across his body, and here's Lustig.
Ball was out. The official was right there. He had a better angle than we did.
Exactly. The official had the front-on look at it. Josh Lustig trying to make a play after the interception, trying to get that ball back for Cathedral Prep.
So the ball at the 25-yard line right now, and this is a golden opportunity here for the West offense. Second time they've been deep in Prep territory. Got to think you can't lead points on the field like this. Here comes the reverse. West thought about throwing, and this time gets strung out. And I'll tell you what, the Prep defense is, I think, a lot quicker than anticipated.
Yeah.
We knew they had a lot of speed, but Boy, they're really playing well in the scheme right now.
Well, that's right. You know they're big, but they're also quick, too.
That's Ed Brown. His second time he's been in the backfield in this game.
Yeah, Ed Brown gets to the backfield right away.
Or Matt Parsons, I should say.
Jason Easter comes up from his cornerback spot to finish the deal. There you're looking at Jason Easter, 5'7", 170-pound senior.
So 3rd and 9 here for West. They'll send wide receivers off to the top of your screen. West the motion man. DiGiacomo, the lone set. He's back to block. Oriole back, throws, pass, caught. Got a first down with it, I believe. Adam Scholl, 6-foot senior. All the way down to the 10-yard line. A gain of 14 yards. They needed 9.
Adam Scholl lines up out of the tight end spot. Lots of time for Oriole, the quarterback. He throws a dart to Scholl.
Right in front of Jawan Walker. It's pretty good coverage, actually, by Walker. So that's a big conversion there for West on 3rd and 9. Oriole pitching to West, trying to get a block. Does, skips through the 5 all the way to the 1-yard line.
Well, I'll tell you,
He may have another first down. They marked it at the 11.
CB West just comes at you in waves with formation after formation. This time, toss back to James West, finds some blocking up front, dives towards the goal line. Be 1st and goal from the 1.
This is a 3rd meeting, I might add, for these two in the finals. Last year, of course, 14-13. They met previously in 1991. Hand off to Giacomo, picking his way for a touchdown. Is that to Giacomo, or did he lead the block? It is to Giacomo with the touchdown, and it's now 6-0, and the conversion is coming. There he is. DiGiacomo, just a versatile performer on the year, and they got that big surge up front as you catch a great view of it right there. Get to Gary Sutton here in a moment. 5-play, 25-yard drive, took 1 minute and 12 seconds. A key play, converting that 3rd down. Great play off the snap.
I don't know how they got that through the uprights eventually. That was a great hold. Low snap.
Jim Wibberley, the kicker, knocks it down. And it's 7-0. Let's go to Gary Sutton right now. Gary?
Kind of like watching a well-oiled machine down here, watching the Central Bucks West offense. 4 different running backs sharing in the chores there. 4 over 400 yards this year, and so many different sets. And one of the trademarks of that Central Bucks West offense is that tight formation all the time. Very tough to see who's getting the ball. Good depth ball handling there at quarterback, and the result, 7-0 with 3:10 to go here in the 1st quarter. Jed?
Talk to me a little bit. No wind at all now. 0. I mean, that's the first time I've seen this here in years in Hershey. It's great. Good football weather.
Right now, this afternoon, we had a good, solid wind. Right now, it's absolutely dead here. Good and crisp. Great football hitting weather, and that's exactly what the coaches like for a night like this.
2 possessions now for Erie on offense for Prep and 4 total yards. That's how dominant the West, CB West defense
That's right.
has been.
And Erie Cathedral Prep has come in averaging 48 points per game. That is #1 in the state. But on the board first is Central Bucks West, thanks to a 5-play, 25-yard drive after the interception by Zach Ingram.
Last loss for Central Bucks West, November of 1996 in the opening round of the District 1 playoffs against Plymouth Whitemarsh. They lost that game 21-16. They had a previous streak of 55 games in a row unbeaten through 1984 through 88. It's just unbelievable. Kick's going to be taken here by Easter. Easter trying to get a seam, and he has popped down at the 32-yard line. In on the stop for West is Aaron Kennedy. Also got some help there from Jeff Johnson as well. Well, for Prep, it's time to get busy on offense. We just mentioned those numbers, and I know they want to try and get on the pedal here.
Well, Erie Prep, they certainly know what adversity is like. A couple of weeks ago against Altoona, they were trailing in the ball game, needed a 75-yard kickoff return from Tim Dance to send it into overtime, and snuck out with a 27-20 victory. That may have been the wake-up call to prove to Erie Cathedral Prep that, hey, we're not bulletproof. We can be beat.
They even had to get a pass on 4th down in the overtime to force 2nd overtime. So, I mean, they were on the bubble all night. Henkel trying to run. He's down. Whistles blow. Wow. Wow, what a play that is. In on the stop is Gene Rich. We've talked about him. He just explodes.
Yeah, Gene Rich comes right in. I'm not sure if that was a broken play or not. Who's to say? Gene Rich ruined that thing right away.
Well, he sacked Mark Borda of Becca High last week, forced a fumble to set up one score, and their 27-12 win.
Borda said that was the most physical game he's ever been in.
They love to power you. There's no question. They've got speed to go with it. As Hinkle drops, Hinkle looks, throws, got a man. It's Lustig. Lustig, a very quality, flashy receiver. All he does is move chains, right? 39-yard line. That's a gain, about 7 or 8.
You're looking at the leading receiver on the Erie Cathedral Prep team, Josh Lustig, right here. Comes out into the flats. Picks up positive yardage. Lustig, 30 receptions on the year for 694 yards.
Missed 5 games with a broken collarbone earlier this season. He did return for the Altoona game in the quarterfinals. They need his sure hands tonight, I can tell you that. It's 3rd and 3 right now. Field the motion man. Now Hinkle stretching through and nothing there. He just got walloped. Adam Scholl, inside linebacker, stayed home and made him pay.
Boy, oh boy, I'll tell you, television really captures the hit right there. That's a good shot, guys. You could hear the hit way up here as well. That is some football. That's what a Quad A championship game hit should look like.
Hinkle will drop back and punt. Deep men for West will be Golden and also DiGiacomo. 9-iron shot. It's going to take a bounce. Golden's going to stay away, and this is a great punt because it's going to take a Erie Cathedral Prep roll all the way down to the 15-yard line. 44-yard punt. Appreciate George Zurich, Steve Trees, Travis Sparks for helping us out, spotting, and we've come to the end of the first, or not, we're getting close to the end of the first quarter. 56 seconds.
You know, you mentioned Plymouth Whitemarsh, the last team to beat Central Bucks West. Their head coach said, in order to beat these teams like Central Bucks West the past couple of years, you have to take chances defensively, and that they're so strong physically, you can't just drive the ball down their throats. You have to throw the ball.
Well, that's the one thing with Oriole being so seasoned now. Here's DiGiacomo getting a carry, and there's just not much room in there. In on the stop, going to be Matt Parsons, and then everybody else kind of helped out to clean up from there. Got a whistle.
I believe CB West wants a timeout.
Let's check in with Gary Sutton right now. Gary?
You know, it's really interesting to try to spot trends so far in this game, and what you'd say in the early going here, anyway, with 44 seconds left in the first quarter, is Erie Cathedral Prep is awfully quick laterally. CB West is awfully tough up the middle. Those are the two biggest trends you see so far. Everything that CB West has basically done so far has gone up the gut. For Erie Cathedral Prep, they chase them to the outside as well as anyone you ever see.
Like you said, Jed, this is the 3rd meeting between these two guys in the state championship game. Central Bucks West won the 1991 tilt 26-14. That was a Rob Sweat Central Bucks West team, wasn't it? The guy went on to star at Michigan. Exactly. And of course, last year's classic ball game, 14-13, right here at Hershey Park Stadium. 2 nationally ranked teams tangling here in Hershey Park Stadium.
Well, Mike Carey is in his first year, but he's no stranger to the program.
Not at all.
He's been a line coach for 20 years under the legendary Mike Pettin, who's very much involved in this baby, Mark.
Yes, he is. Mike Pettin and Mike Carey get together every Monday to go over some game plans. So Mike Pettin, legendary coach for Central Bucks West, still has his fingers in the mix.
Still involved in preparing, and if you have that kind of resource, you use it.
Once a football coach, always a football coach.
Here's DiGiacomo's got his first big breakout run, has 5-10, ball onto the ground. They say the ground caused the fumble, and it will stay CB West ball. These are tough judgment calls, but they got this one right.
Well, some great blocking in the line up front. Here you see the ball getting jarred loose.
Yeah, he was clearly down. A 15-yard run for DiGiacomo. Mentioned coming into this game, DiGiacomo with 1,145 yards and 22 touchdowns. He has 18 receptions, and he's 17 of 31 in the air for 216.
Yeah, he did a little time at quarterback this year.
Little of everything.
Watch a halfback pass with him.
Back goes Oriole. He's rolling now under the gun. Now throws right over the mix. Got a man. It's caught. Big first down. It's going to be Golden. Golden all the way up to about the 48.
Fran Golden, the senior, found the seam behind the linebackers. Mike Oriole does a nice job of sucking in the defenders here, creating some open spaces. There's Fran Golden, nobody around him.
15 more yards. You got to be, you know, just impressed with Oriole's ability to go off that first read, and we've come to the end of the first quarter of play in a 7-0 game. West with one big touchdown drive to grab the lead here. Let's go to our Gary Sutton, who's working the venue areas. Great crowds on hand for both of these games. Mount Carmel winning earlier this afternoon, the AA championship. Let's go to Gary Sutton. Gary?
Well, Jed, you, Mark, and I were about as entertained before this game tonight as we've ever been. And the rally squad from Erie Cathedral Prep was spelling out Erie Cathedral Prep on the field, but they were throwing themselves all over the place. They've got some great shirts on. Buck season is over, and here they are right here, the rally squad. Take a look at those shirts, and the crowd behind them is unbelievable.
Buck season's over. I guess hunting reference there. Got the blaze orange. Some impressive stats in the first quarter of play. Total yards for Central Bucks West, 100. Total yards for Erie Cathedral Prep, 13. It's a dominant performance from the Bucks.
See that knee brace for Joe Dupre's number 40. Sprained his MCL. He's on his way to the University of Kentucky. His father played under Fran Kersey at Kentucky. Good Kentucky team back in the late 70s, one that climbed as high as number 2 nationally. They finished 10-1 overall. They featured future All-Pro Art Still.
My son Joe's a real hard-nosed football player. Anchors the middle of that linebacking crew.
1st and 10 at the 47. It's going to be West. He slithers one tackle into the secondary now. He's got about 7 or 8. Again, this is where West just pounds you to death. They just drone on and on and on, and they're getting 7 or 8 yards on first down.
And watch James West, real shifty type of runner. Tough to get a good shot on him.
First.
Joe Dupre, look at that, has a clean shot, but West is just that kind of shifty type of Barry Sanders type of runner where you can never get a good solid lick.
I'm sensing, if Gary monitor this, sorry Mark, that I'm sensing frustration on the Prep defense right now. They're yelling encouragement to one another, but I think they're beginning to really feel that they're getting pushed off the line of scrimmage here.
That's where the strength of the defense is for Erie Cathedral Prep. They got to figure out right now what they're going to try to do to stop that offensive line of CB West that has just been running over them.
So Mike Carey gathers the troops over. You know, we were talking to a lot of the coaches today about this 59-game winning streak and just what an incredible accomplishment that is. I mean, how tough this state is with football, period. I mean, they come out of the Suburban One where they're, to be honest with you, probably the most balanced Quad A league over the last 3 or 4 years.
It really is amazing, and they could, with a victory tonight, become the first team to ever win 4 consecutive Quad A championships in the state of Pennsylvania. It's an amazing run that CB West has put together. Erie Cathedral Prep, now they have their work cut out for them both offensively and defensively as we look at first-year coach Mike Carey and the Central Bucks West Bucks.
There's Mike Oriole.
Big contingent coming up from that area.
Doylestown area.
And Erie, well represented this evening as well.
5-hour trip. It's a 5-hour ride. I've done it a lot. Gotta love that support when they make that kind of trip. And here we go to Giacomo. He can throw. We were anticipating this. He got a man out there. It's Ingram, 50-50 ball. And actually, Ingram played defense, not offense, at the end of the throw to keep that from being an interception. They'll go back to that later. He just hung it out there too long.
Well, this is the advantage of having a tailback who did some time at quarterback this year. Good, strong throw it up for grabs.
Here's where the defense comes in, though.
That's exactly right. Ingram does have a step on the defender.
That was Jason Easter downfield with him. Good coverage.
Easter has had some nice coverage back there.
That was a good time to run it. It's 2nd and 2. Now it's 3rd and 2. Giacomo, the lone setback for now. Here comes West. He's going to get the handoff. He's got blocking and an escort service in front. Can he get the corner? He didn't get there, I don't think. He needed 2 yards. I think he only got a yard out of that thing. Jason Easter in on the stop again over on the far side of the field. Charles Rush.
I'll tell you what, Gary.
You get an idea. Rush must have run 25 yards over there.
Yeah, that's right. Gary was talking about the lateral speed. Watch the lateral speed right here of the Erie Prep defense. Right there. There's Charles Rush stringing it out along. Linebacker comes up, makes the stop. 1 yard shy of a first down.
Don't go for it here. They must be really, again, Erie Prep only 13 total yards offensively, so the defense can do it. They better hurry. They're down to 7 seconds on the 25-second clock. To Giacomo, first down, a lot more, spins out, still going all the way to the 32, a gain of 12. To Giacomo, just grinding you out. Big block up front. You got to give that offensive line for West some credit there. They are really moving it off.
Oh, yeah, no question about it. We're talking about Gene Rich, Nick Daly, Josh Sands. Just a straight-ahead blocking, nothing fancy here.
John Arsenault.
John Arsenault. Giacomo keeps the Pistons pumping and picks up first down yardage and much more.
Big drive here for West. Again, running all these multiple sets. How disciplined are they? Here's to Giacomo again. He slicks through there. He's got about 5 or 6 more.
To Giacomo, running to the strong side this time. Look at the blocking up front. These guys are just standing up. The Erie Cathedral Prep defensive line.
Gary, quickly, are you sensing a frustration on the Prep defense down there a little bit?
Big time frustration right now, Jed. They are trying somehow to find a way to stop this wave. They get down 2 scores. It's a tough ball game here for Erie Cathedral Prep, and this team just running over them in the middle of that line. 9th
play of the drive right now for the Bucks. To Giacomo again, this time trying to get off tackle. Big Joe Dupre has got him. The inside linebacker, tackle machine. Mike Mishler said may have played his best game of his career last week in the West Final in their victory against Mount Lebanon.
He's one tremendous player. Joe Dupre sneaks in here. Makes a good hard hit. Getting some help there from his defensive mates as well. Stacking up that right side, running right to the far side of the field. That's what Central Bucks West has done the past couple of plays.
They overwhelmed Mount Lebanon last week in the Western Final, 39-14. It's to Giacomo, and there's not much there. Charles Rush is in on that stack. Dale Williams, Matt Parsons.
Yeah, you talk about Erie Cathedral Prep, and they have not faced a whole lot of adversity this year. Started out with a 47-0 shutout over Franklin Regional. Posted a 77-0 shutout. Won handily throughout most of the season. We mentioned that critical game against Altoona in the playoffs. It went double overtime. That was really their only close call of the season. They're not used to finding themselves down on the scoreboard.
So 4th and 5 right now, and Mike Carey's going to use his last timeout. I want to remind you this high school championship telecast made possible by Pennsylvania cable television companies, which carry PCN on their channel lineup. If you like PCN's extensive coverage of high school sports finals, be sure to thank your local cable company for supporting Pennsylvania's championship network and giving these high school athletes a much-deserved statewide audience. It's been great working with the Pennsylvania Cable Network and PCN, and of course our WITF production crew. Mark, we've been at every final, all 13 of them now, and since the advent of statewide television, it's added a lot of electricity to these championship events, and indeed a privilege to be part of this grand plan.
And this is the matchup that people have been waiting for all season long.
We got 5 and an 8, right? Doesn't get any better than that.
Yep, since the high school football season kicked off back in September. You know, Erie Cathedral Prep, they found out about Central Bucks West victory in the Eastern Final prior to their 37-14 win over Mount Lebanon in the Western Final, and that was all right with them. In fact, they wanted Central Bucks West. They wanted a rematch, and they want to prove they're number 1.
5-yard penalty. It must have. I think it's a substitution. So here we go, 4th and 5. Becomes 4th and 10. seems to be some confusion. Now they get into the set. Oriole back. Blitz is coming. Oriole steps out of trouble, but he isn't going to get anywhere close. And this is a big moment in this game. Can Prep use this defensive stop to build on and gather momentum from? There really was no option available, Mark, for Oriole here at all.
No, there weren't. The defense, the linebackers came up. That's Brian White. Dupre was there. Charles Rush as well. Pocket collapsed very quickly on Mike Oriole.
We'll get some for Gary here after this next play. They just need something big to happen to blow the carbon out a little bit, Mark. Here's Dance in motion. He's quick. Hand off Walker. He's one of the guys that can get it done. He's into the clear. Look out! 40. Stays on his feet. 30. He's bringing it 20. Home 5. Touchdown! 67 yards. The equalizer. Need a big play. Dial up number 2. Hello, end zone. Right back in the ball game. A defensive stand, you could really feel momentum shifting. Now they're back in a big way.
And there you see the Erie Prep following. Obviously ecstatic about that. Great vision, great running, and look at the balance there from Jawan Walker. Almost stumbles a couple times. Almost tripped up there at about the 30-yard line. It keeps his feet and turns on the Jets into the end zone for a 68-yard romp.
Is it 68 officially?
Let's see, they were at the, no, 67, you're right, they were at the 33-yard line.
Anyway, you just sensed possibly a swing in that game. Gary, games are about trends. That stop defensively, you could really feel kind of a sense of relief, and then they hit the big one here.
Yeah, you just watched the transfer of momentum there. You sensed the big stop. They needed it in that series. They would go down 2 scores, and then they hit the home run ball. I think it was Earl Weaver that once said, if you can live off the 3-run homer, you could do it a lot. Well, that was more than a 3-run homer right there for Erie Cathedral Prep. That was a momentum capture right now, and this game is on new turf.
Warnicki is in for the conversion. The holder is Roach. Warnicki, one of those big linemen there. Extra points, obviously not automatic things high school-wise. Warnicki right through the uprights. We are right back where we started at 7-7. If we have an end zone shot of that down in the trunk, let's have a look at Walker, and you can get an idea why this offensive line is so ballyhooed. They average 262 pounds, and these guys are athletic, and you give speed light under the door, things are going to happen positively for you. Yeah. And this was a spectacular play when they really desperately needed a big one.
Running back has a combination of speed and vision. Look at him following his blockers there. Hits the hole, shakes a tackle, and now he's off to the races. James West almost trips up Walker right there at the 30-yard line, but Walker keeps his balance and zips into the end zone to tie this ball game up at 7 apiece. Jawan Walker, 767 yards throughout the year. He's a game breaker. He and Tim Dance, that's one of the keys to this ball game. Central Bucks West must contain Erie Prep's 2 game breakers, Walker and Dance. Also, Ed Hinkle. Ed Hinkle can do some good things offensively, too, on his feet and through the air.
Huge play there for Jawan Walker. He has over 900 yards on the season. He missed 5 games this year. Tied at 7 with 7:57 to go. There's our nice football shot, PIAA championship ball. They chip it high into the air. Pretty good catch is made by Gavin Potter. He had an older brother, Corey Potter, who was a quarterback of the state championship run that began in 1997. They had to survive a huge scare in this stadium against Central Dauphin in the Eastern Final that year, and then came in and took care of business against Upper St. Clair the following week in Altoona. And then, of course, 1998, the overwhelmed Newcastle, Dustin Pisciotti with one of the great nights ever, and then last year's epic here. Pitch it West, got some blocking in front, cuts it back, it's got positive yardage, 7 or 8. Ball is down, but they say the ground caused the fumble again. That's the second time that's happened to West.
You're looking at Charles Rush. There's the pitch to West. West following his blockers. Here's big Charles Rush making the stop.
Oh, you can see why.
He's got a lot of speed for a guy that size, 280 pounds.
You and I saw him last year. We put him right there with Brandon Short, some of the great defensive players we've ever seen in this tournament.
Just dominant.
Again, it'll be in sunny California at UCLA next week, starting his 5 official visits. Play action for Oriole. Got a man caught and complete, and I believe that's DiGiacomo.
Look at the athleticism of Mike Oriole, the senior quarterback for Central Bucks West. Look at that great play fake. Looking downfield for DiGiacomo, and look at that ball zipped right in there. Perfect pass.
14-yard completion and a first down, and West is driving again.
Pass was where it had to be. Joe Dupre had the coverage out of his linebacker spot. As you look at the Central Bucks West Brain Trust on the sideline, first-year coach Mike Carey.
Handoff, I believe this is DiGiacomo again, and he has got about 2 or 3 yards. Kevin Stump is going to join us, the general manager here with the Hershey Park Arena and the stadium. Pretty good football game, Kevin. Good evening to you. How you doing?
Hey, Jed. Great football game.
Well, you couldn't ask for a better weekend. I mean, you've got a big gate, and are you pleased with how it's all working out for you?
Couldn't be more happy. It's just fabulous. The weather turned out great. Football's been great. The turnout's been great. Couldn't ask for anything more.
You've got a hockey game for everybody later. You really want to have the all-sports day, so to speak.
Yeah, okay, I mean, yeah. Exactly. Right after this, I'm heading over there.
Kevin, 2 games on this field yesterday. How much time did you have to put in overnight to get this field ready for 2 more games today as we look at Mike Oriole handing the ball off?
Well,
that's Bob Warden getting his first carry. Go ahead, Kevin.
There was actually a crew of 5 or 6 people that spent pretty much all night here.
All night.
Not myself, but I got out of here about midnight, but they spent all night.
Well, I just can't say enough good things about the job you've done in creating the bowl atmosphere, and it'll get bigger and better, no question.
That's our plan.
Big crowds here from both Central Bucks West and the Erie Cathedral Prep crowd. And
full moon, we'll have to get a shot of that over there. What a night it is. Beautiful evening out. Perfect for football. They'll give it to James West on a counter. West following blocking, banging his way close to a first down. Was third and about 4. And I think they're going to bring chains out here. We'll see West try and get through there again. James West for West.
quick counter. The offensive line doing a great job. Athletic offensive line. John Arsenault leading the charge there.
Kevin, did the 2-for-1 ticket thing, do you think that helps? Is that something you're going to continue?
Oh, yeah, definitely. And I actually think it did help. I was in the box office today during the sales of the first game, and a lot of people were asking, you know, do I have to buy 2 tickets to see both games today? And we were saying, no, you just, 1 ticket gets you both games, and they were very pleased.
I think it's a great idea. I think, you know, you want to promote it in the whole bit. I think, you know, we got a top 10 matchup like this, too. Doesn't hurt.
How many other states can say that?
PA would be the only one, I think, with 2 in the top 10. I haven't seen the latest, but prep start of the week at 5. Central Bucks West is 8, and they're on the move right now. 1st and 10 of the 29-yard line. We've got Kevin Stump with us here for a couple of more minutes. Nice play action. Oriole looking, got a man caught, and it is going to be Golden all the way inside the 10 down to the 5-yard line. Gain of 24 yards on the play, and this was beautiful as Oriole set up this and sold the fake.
It's a great play fake. You see Golden, he's coming out down the near side, lost the pass.
We didn't talk about him a whole lot. He's a senior, 5'9", but Golden's had a heck of a night so far, and they're knocking on the door again.
Orioles play fake really made that play work.
Jawan Walker with a 67-yard run for a touchdown for Erie Prep. Here's DiGiacomo picking his way down to the 1-yard line. I see you lit the Wildcat up for us there, Kevin. That's good. The roller coaster, biggest wooden one. So
we'd like to give you guys a show.
Here's DiGiacomo again. This is just a smart football player who just knows how to pick his way through all the blocking.
Yeah, you can see it on that particular run. He cut it back inside. There's the Wildcat, and let me tell you, that is one wild and woolly roller coaster.
Our kids are daredevils. They love it. Here we go, looking to get the lead. DiGiacomo pushing.
Nothing doing.
Touchdown.
Oh, yeah, you got it.
Central Bucks West is back on the lead at 13-7 with 4:13 remaining. Here in the first half, we're in the second quarter of play, and that caps a long drive. 8 plays, 61 yards, and they used 3 minutes and 39 seconds. Well, that's how you counter a big-time play. You just kind of get a big-time drive together, and they're back on the lead again.
And that's DiGiacomo's second touchdown of the ball game. Good second effort. That's what got DiGiacomo the 6 points. He just kept moving, pushing the pile, and Central Bucks West with their second touchdown of the ball game.
Quiverly for the conversion is blocked by Eric Field. That's a big play. As Field came in and blew it up. He almost took that off the tee. That's how close he got. That's a big-time mess. Let's go down to Gary Sutton. It looked like Field had a clean lane.
Boy, momentum is a funny thing. You get it on the big run down on the other end for Erie Cathedral Prep. You come back up here a long drive, and then you have the point block. Now, 14-13 last year. A lot of us remember that score. Right now, it's 13-7. Those block points can mean something. But one of the storylines of this game so far, Jed, time of possession. That defense for Erie Cathedral Prep has been on the field for a long, long time.
Kevin, final couple of questions for you. This obviously something we're going to see you again in March for a lot of the championships. So
yes, sir.
You guys committed big time for this, right?
That's correct. You know, our chairman of the board, CEO Scott Newcomb, has really made it a point that Hershey is the destination for all high school, Pennsylvania high school sports championships. And also Todd Pagliarillo, my boss, has given me the the ability in the Arena Stadium, the ability to bring such events to our facilities.
Well, we must say, from our staff standpoint, thank you so much for everything you've done all weekend long.
You're very welcome. We love having you guys here. Wouldn't be December without you guys.
That's right. Get my apartment ready for the winter time.
There, we got your cot in my office.
Sounds good. Thank you, Kevin.
Jed, always a pleasure.
Thanks, Kevin Stump, General Manager
hey,
here with the Hershey Park Stadium and Arena. Ask him to stop by, visit. Well, that's a big drive right there for Central Bucks West.
You know, it's always interesting to talk to Kevin and see how much preparation goes into putting these events together, especially the field maintenance. They don't just go out there and cut the grass. They really tend to this field 24 hours a day.
Fair catch by Hinkle at the 32. Well, it's a 13-7 game. Erie Cathedral Prep has won 8 plays on offense. Granted, one of them's a 67-yard cash and carry to the end zone, but that's how dominant West has been in time of possession here.
Yeah, prior to that big hitter from Jawan Walker that went 67 yards for the TD, I believe they had a total offensive output of 13 yards. So Central Bucks West, their defense for the most part has been very effective tonight.
So they'll start at their own 33-yard line. There's James West right there. He's key in coverage here. Seems to be some big-time confusion here. Hinkle on a keeper, and he's going to get hit and drop from behind. Barillo read that out, and I think they're going to get
they have holding back there.
A motion penalty here or something.
Angelo Barillo came in right away. He's 270 pounds. Number 44 for Central Bucks West. You're looking along the line of scrimmage, looking at some of the confusion because of the various defensive formations that they're looking at from the Bucks.
Here we go for the verdict.
Illegal shift on the offense. Still first down.
So 1st and 10 becomes 1st and 15 as they back it up to the 28-yard line.
Well, that's one of the things that many teams have difficulty with Central Bucks West in the, adjusting to their various formations. These kids are 16, 17, 18 years old, and it's very difficult to adjust to various formations, especially the number of formations you'll see from the Bucks.
And the Hinkle blitz is coming, got it out of there, and the pass is dropped. by Romiak. Pretty good throw by Hinkle because he was under some heavy pressure.
That's right, and he threw it to the right side because there was coverage on the back side. So
Tim Dance coming into the football game right now with a play, and
Romiak makes that catch. He goes about the original line of scrimmage or so. But it's the second and 15.
CB West changing their looks defensively, leading this game as we see 13-7 right now. We're late here in the second quarter. Hinkle on a rollout. Hinkle's run for a bunch of yards this year. Got the corners, got the 40. You can see how explosive he is, and he steps out of bounds at about the 41. He's shy of a first down. They needed 15 yards, but he does create third and short. But you get an idea of what a dynamic force Hinkle is running the ball.
Yeah, here he comes right into your living room. Juwan Walker leading the way, gets a good kick-out block there. Here comes Hinkle, running right by us. Just steps out of bounds. You can see he's got a lot of speed. A tremendously athletic quarterback. One of the best safeties in the state of Pennsylvania.
University of Pittsburgh and about 20 other Division I offers. He was their second leading rusher with 898 yards. They have yet to get a first down in this game. It's 3rd and 3. As Hinkle steps under center at the 41. Hinkle, quick drop, throws over the middle, pass caught, Lustig, first down. Gain of about 4. Let's check in with the coach, Gary Sutton. Gary, what do you got?
Well, the offense so sporadic right now for Erie Cathedral Prep, just trying to get some kind of drive going here, and a nice little pass there to get the first down of the first half. They have the touchdown, but you're not going to live off big plays, I don't think, against this Central Bucks West team on a regular basis.
They're looking to keep that speed in front of them. They let it get behind once on the big run by Walker, but for the most part, the MO, keep it in front and do your damage there. No yards after the catch.
Well, Zach Ingram gambled and won because Zach Ingram tackled high, but if he would have missed that tackle, it was off to the races. Could have been 6 points for Prep.
Lustig knows what he's doing. Here's Walker, big hole to the outside. Flag is down, however. He's got a whopping gain to about the 30-yard line. You can see why Walker is going to be one of the more sought-after prospects in the country next year. He's only a junior, and you've got a motion penalty against Erie Cathedral Prep, and that's going to come back.
Yeah, it's a tough break as you watch Walker finish off this run. It's all for naught. Illegal procedure. It will come back. But look at the pure speed. Juwan Walker. Under 800 yards this year, but he missed 5 games. 5'11", 170 pounds, just a junior. And a very bright
Illegal
future.
motion on the offense.
Well, that's the second one in this drive. Once for a shift, now motion. That's our referee here for this particular game, Alan Lubas. Officials have been great all weekend long. They've had a couple of tough calls to make, but they were correct. Replays have justified it. 3:09 remaining in this second quarter of play. 13-7. Prep is on the short end for now. But again, with a lot of this big play offense, they can get back into a game in a big hurry, as we've seen already here. Hinkle, quick handoff. Fields got his first carry. He's banging forward, and he's got up to about the 48. Gain of about 7. Fields a really big-time tough fullback. Doesn't get a lot of carries.
Quick hitter to the up man right here. That's Eric Field, 210 pounds. Gets past the line of scrimmage. Now he's one-on-one with the linebackers.
It's only his 13th carry of the season right there. He's got 2 tonight. Sometimes those quick hitters where you run right at that.
We saw Mount Carmel use it very effectively with their 5 fullback, Aaron Ziegler.
Not much time remaining here in this first half. Hinkle play action. Blitz is coming. He's down. The ball is out, and it goes out of bounds. He got run over by Gavin Potter, who must have sprinted 25 yards from the far side to go and get Hinkle.
Yeah, Gavin Potter is an outside linebacker, but it's the near side. Gavin Potter comes flying way across the field, makes a big hit on Hinkle, jars the ball loose. Luckily for Cathedral, it zips out of bounds.
Gary, what do you got?
Central Bucks West looks so good offensively. They know exactly what they want to do, and you just still sense that Erie Cathedral Prep trying to find some kind of combination of run, pass that works. They're still probing, and we're almost to halftime.
Again, they've picked up their first down of the night in this drive. Fortunately for Erie Cathedral Prep, they had the big touchdown run. Hinkle looking long for Dance. Good coverage. He was sealed off, and it's incomplete.
Expanding on Gary's point, he's got a very good point. Erie Cathedral Prep, they're looking for something. They're looking for something to work to its effectiveness. But, you know, Central Bucks West throws so many different formations, so many different looks at you. Just when you figure out the game, Mike Carey of Central Bucks West will change the rules.
Go ahead, Gary.
It's time right here for Erie Cathedral Prep, I think, because Central Bucks West gets to put them back in a familiar place now on defense for the last 2:16. And we'll see if they can walk in with big momentum on their side and another score. You go up 2 scores here, I think it takes the steam out of Erie Cathedral Prep.
Good punt by Hinkle, and it rolls out of bounds at about the 18-yard line. Especially the way they're playing keep away. Time of possession is just an astounding number in favor of the Bucks so far in this first half. Sometimes you just don't get it back until 7 or 8 minutes have gone by. That's kind of a scary proposition of your Erie Cathedral Prep right now.
Right. One thing the Ramblers may be looking for is a big play defensively, and they've got some big hitters defensively that could give them a big turnover. Eric Hinkle is one. 5 interceptions this year. He leads the team out of the safety spot. And we're looking at Joe Dupre. There's another one. These guys, they are fully capable of creating a turnover, especially down in this part of the field inside the 20-yard line.
See if Mike Carey wants to play this. Here's Bob Warden on the carry. Warden last year was pressed into service, if you remember, because DiGiacomo got hurt.
Camburn got hurt.
And the big guy, Pashotti, only carried 4 times before he sprained an ankle.
Yeah, here you're looking at Bob Warden.
Warden's
6'2",
a senior.
Yep, 215 pounds. Yeah, that was a bruising game last year. Dustin Pashotti went out in the first quarter of play. Dave Camburn went down. DiGiacomo went down as well for Central Bucks West. On the Erie Cathedral Prep side of the ball, the player said everybody had hurts and aches and pains after that particular ball game, the most physical ball game they were in all year.
Oriole gives it to Warden. He gets flipped around. Dale Williams got him first with the arm, and Charles Rush picked up the mess. Boy, Charles is some kind of player. Dale
sure
Williams is a guy getting looks here.
Yeah, Dale Williams, 305 pounds and very athletic. Charles Rush stays home, makes the play.
Pitt, Ohio State, Syracuse, a lot of people in on him.
Dale Williams corrals him at first. Charles Rush right there finishes the deal.
Let's go down to Gary. Gary?
Well, good time out here by Erie Cathedral Prep. They sense they can get the ball back one more time here if they can get a stop on this play. 1:16 to go in the third quarter. So again, grabbing momentum and taking it to the locker room night right now is absolutely paramount for both these teams. For Central Bucks West trying to get 5 yards for a first down. On the other side, Erie Cathedral Prep desperately needs a stop here.
One thing too, Gary, I think from a coach's standpoint, you always want to, clock management, so vital in anything, basketball, football, or whatever.
Well, and sensing when that timeout is necessary, and you've got to be thinking like a play ahead. It's almost like playing chess constantly, and that's exactly what Mike Missler doing right here. A wise coach. You don't get to these championship games without paying attention to the little details, Jed.
Well, that's also true, Gary. You're always looking maybe, creating as many opportunities as you can for your club.
And with this Central Bucks West team, you don't get that many opportunities. They have the ball most of the time, so you've got to make good on the ones that you're presented.
West is 1 for 5 on 3rd down so far here in this first half. They're looking at 3rd and 4, trying to get the corner with West. Sliding forward, Eric Fields got him at the 29-yard line, and I think he's going to be short by about a half yard.
It is going to be very close. Nonetheless, big play by Eric Fields out of the linebacker spot. They got the sweep going here, pulling guards.
Ooh, they give him a first down. They say he got it.
Leading the charge, Eric Fields sneaks in to make the tackle. Not by much, though. Only less than a length of the football. There's Eric Fields.
Boy, Dale Williams has pretty good movement. You're talking about a 305-pound guy getting out in the flat right there, out of a defensive tackle spot. He's number 74. So 108, and West is bringing Bob Warden back into the football game for James West. They'll restart the 25-second clock. Look at the way West just gets down. We will eventually. This gets you right in the middle of the action, just the way they set.
Look at that tight formation.
So disciplined as Oriole, rolling, looking, passing, throwing, caught. And they say he didn't get out of bounds. I believe that is going to be Golden again. and a first down for West. And now maybe they're out of timeouts, but maybe they think about maybe giving Wibberley a shot at a field goal or something.
There you see the tremendous athleticism once again of the Central Bucks West quarterback, Mike Oriole.
I'm impressed with Oriole. He has really grown up a lot. He's grown up before our eyes over the last few years. Here's some play action. Looking deep for Golden. 50-50 ball intercepted by Hinkle. What a play in center field by Ed Hinkle that time. That's his 6th interception of the year right there. And that turns away Central Bucks West. It's kind of like a punt, taking your shot while you had it. And with 36 seconds to go and 1 timeout, we'll see what they decide to do.
Oriole rolls to the near side. Just a fly pattern from Golden once again. The coverage is there. Nice pick. Good defensive coverage. So Josh Lustig with the pick.
Back goes Hinkle. They're going to give it a whirl. Throw it deep, looking, Tim Dance. Oh, couldn't catch up at the 35. It was close. Good ball and a good route. Dance showing his separation ability. He's a burner.
He sure is. Displayed his speed on that particular play. Tim Dance, he's the guy that took the kickoff 75 yards to send the Altoona game into overtime. Saved the season for Erie Cathedral Prep 2 weeks ago.
That was the jaw-dropping upset that never was. It was close. Altoona, which lost in the regular season.
30 seconds to go in the half.
40. They proved themselves right. Blitz is coming. They had that on all the way, and a big-time tackle. Gavin Potter's been all over the place. Linebacker. He just had the sack in the last series, forced a fumble, but it went out of bounds.
This is a tough kid. He's under 200 pounds, 190. Comes in untouched on the blitz and makes the big sack. 6 seconds and counting.
Reminds you a little bit of Travis Blumgren, who they've had in the program over the years, and that'll be the end of the first half of play. We'll step out for a timeout as well. It's 13-7 Central Bucks West at the half. You're watching exclusive coverage of the 2000 PIAA Football Championships. This is the Pennsylvania Cable Network. We're back with more after this.
You're watching PIAA Championship Football exclusively on PCN, Pennsylvania's championship network.
The PIAA is a Pennsylvania nonprofit corporation organized on a membership basis. Membership includes most of the public and many private high schools in the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania. The PIAA develops and enforces rules which are authorized by the member schools to regulate interscholastic athletic competition. The PIAA was formed in 1913 by a group of high school principals to establish uniform rules, eliminate abuses, and place interscholastic athletics in the overall context of secondary education. The purposes of the PIAA are defined in Article 2 of its Constitution. They are to organize, develop, and direct an interscholastic athletic program which will promote, protect, and conserve the health and physical welfare of all participants, to formulate and maintain policies that will safeguard the educational values of interscholastic athletics and cultivate the high ideals of good sportsmanship, and to promote uniformity of standards in all interscholastic athletic competition. The PIAA believes that the student athlete is best served by a system which emphasizes the amateur, educational, and character-building aspects of high school sports, a system which recognizes that athletics is not the driving force, but rather that students are in school primarily to obtain an education. The membership of the PIAA consists of approximately 1,300 schools, divided almost equally between senior high schools and junior high middle schools. Of that membership, approximately 150 are private schools. Nearly 250,000 students participate in interscholastic athletics under the PIAA each year, placing Pennsylvania 7th in the United States for the 1997-98 school year. The 4 major areas in which the PIAA currently operates are the following: establishment and enforcement of rules governing the eligibility of high school athletes to participate in interscholastic athletics. These include rules for academic performance, attendance requirements, transfer students, pre-participation physical evaluations, age, and amateur status. organizing and operating 27 post-regular season playoffs and championships in 10 girls sports, and 31 post-regular season playoffs and championships in 11 boys sports. Adopting the playing rules for each sport under its jurisdiction, with the exception of bowling, golf, girls lacrosse, rifle, and tennis. All other playing rules adopted by the PIAA are published by the National Federation of State High School Associations, of which the PIAA has been a member since 1925. Registering and training officials to officiate at contests in which the PIAA member schools participate. Nearly 13,000 officials are currently registered with the PIAA. The PIAA's principal source of revenue is the sale of tickets to its playoffs and championships. Gate receipts enable the PIAA to operate without taxpayer financing. The PIAA also provides services to its members on a day-to-day basis through its headquarters in Upper Allen Township, Cumberland County, near Mechanicsburg, Pennsylvania. The PIAA assists member schools and families by providing the student-athlete with opportunities for achievement.
Hello, and welcome to the Pennsylvania Cable Network. We're delighted to join with you in celebrating high school athletics in the Commonwealth. Everything that we do here at PCN, from our daily coverage of the General Assembly to programs exploring manufacturing, from carriage of significant Pennsylvania events to our satellite distribution across the state, all of this is made possible by Pennsylvania cable television companies which carry our network on their channel lineup. Often at PCN, we'll list the names and service areas of local cable TV providers. These are the community-minded companies which voluntarily pay a monthly fee to cover network programming and operating costs. PCN receives no state funding. We are supported instead through the generosity of cable systems which make PCN available to their subscribers. In watching high school sports on PCN, we hope you'll remember the commitment of Pennsylvania cable television companies. They're the ones that make this network and today's programming possible.
Homework Help on PCN is a live 2-hour interactive call-in program for students in grades 1 through 12. State-certified teachers will work through math and science questions with students.
Now are you ready to solve for x?
Yeah.
I want to isolate the x by itself. Now what do I bring down on this side?
13x.
Good. And what is 77 minus 12?
65.
Good.
Homework Help on PCN airs throughout the school year on Sunday nights, live at 5.
Welcome back to Hershey Park Stadium. Mark Shuey along with Jed Donahue and Gary Sutton. And there's the score of the Class Quad A Titanic matchup between unbeaten Central Bucks West and Erie Cathedral Prep, both nationally ranked in the top 10 of the nation, 13-7. It's all it's been advertised to be. Central Bucks West with the 6-point lead here at the half. We're going to take a look at some first half stats and look at the first downs. This is a huge advantage, obviously, for CB West. Rushing yards, CB West has kept it basically on the ground. Look at the total yards, too. Twice as many for Central Bucks West. The one telling stat in the first half of play is this, right down here, 17:34 time of possession as opposed to 6:26 for Erie Prep. That is absolutely astounding. Central Bucks West ran 40 offensive plays in the first half as opposed to 16 offensive plays for Erie Cathedral Prep. We're going to take a look at some of the first half highlights. Central Bucks West doing a lot of things right, keeping it on the ground, but also the veteran quarterback Mike Oriole taken to the air. Here, the play action fake, and he's looking downfield for his favorite target so far tonight, and that is Fran Golden. See number 23, haul in a pass, nice tackle made. Oriole 6 of 11 for 91 yards throughout the night. Golden 4 receptions for 68 yards. Okay, Central Bucks West then got on the board. We've got in the turnover column with this interception by Zach Ingram. Nice pick by number 31, Zach Ingram. We're going to look at the first Central Bucks West touchdown. It's Phil DiGiacomo coming in from 1 yard out. That caps a 5-play, 25-yard drive, and that Zach Ingram interception set up that touchdown. Here's the big highlight in the first half of play from Erie Cathedral Prep's Jawan Walker. It's a 67-yard touchdown run. He lines up out of the fullback spot, takes the handoff, slips a couple of tackles, and then he is off to the races. 67 yards for Erie Cathedral Prep's lone score of the ball game. Central Bucks West answered later on. Second quarter, touchdown from Phil DiGiacomo once again, capping an 8-play, 61-yard drive. DiGiacomo fights his way in from 1 yard out. Extra point was blocked, and that is where we are at the Hershey Park Stadium. 13-7. Central Bucks West with a halftime lead over Erie Cathedral Prep. Gary Sutton, our man along the sidelines, has been out and about in this Hershey Park Stadium, always picking up something interesting. Gary, what have you got for us?
Well, Mark, what I've got is Brad Cashman. I couldn't do any better than this. And the first thing I've got to say is I saw Brad last night. He's got this hat. He said it used to be a Bear Bryant hat. It's turned into more like a Sherlock Holmes hat. So I brought along some money tonight to buy him a new one, but I saw he actually wore the big-time hat for tonight, so he's okay with this. But Brad, in all seriousness, it's been a great tournament so far. Just absolutely stupendous weather. The field's held up so well. You've got to be proud.
Absolutely. I tell you what, I'm really, really excited about this. This has been a great weekend, and we're just really proud and pleased to have these teams here. We have a lot of teams back from last year. We have one team back from 2 years ago, but these teams, and particularly the kids on the teams and the fans, have really behaved in an exemplary manner.
It's got to add some extra luster when you're talking about the number 5 and number 8 teams in the country playing right here on soil in Pennsylvania.
Yeah, this is exciting. Now, I don't know how much stock you put into national rankings, particularly the high school level, but it is very exciting. It's drawn an awful lot of interest both in the state as well as nationally to have these two teams play. And right now, it appears that CBWS has the better of Cathedral Prep, but stay tuned, there's another half.
You talked, though, about the rankings around the country. I know you're proud of the PIAA and what you're trying to do, and you compare to all the states around the country, certainly out ahead, especially right now we're talking about streaming video this week, and you've hit the high-tech world.
Yeah, we have. It's something that's somewhat foreign to me personally, but we are video streaming this. Those Central Bucks West and Cathedral Prep fans that are not in state, that can't pick it up in PCN or do not have PCN in their area, including those that may be in foreign countries, can at least watch it on the internet, and hopefully they're seeing a good game.
2 games for the price of 1, a pretty good deal this weekend.
Yes, it is. Yeah, we just started that this year. Actually, we've been doing that ever since we had all 4 games at one site, 2 on Friday and 2 on Saturday. But we really didn't advertise it that way until just this year. But we're really pleased to be able to do this. It's kind of like our basketball finals, where we have a doubleheader, and you can see 2 basketball games at the price of 1. Here you can see 2 football games at the price of 1.
It's been a great fall so far. You've had all kinds of great championships. Certainly a wonderful way to culminate on a super weekend like this. Candy Lane going on, the Wildcat all lit up behind you, and some super football being played.
Absolutely, and there's the other thing, I think there's a full moon tonight, too. If you look up in the sky, there's a nice full moon up there. It's really been a beautiful day and a beautiful evening, and we hope it'll be a great finale to the weekend.
Brad, hats off to you and all the staff and all the volunteers here. And again, I'll give you this. You can get a new hat then and get rid of that other thing, okay?
Just might buy me the brim.
Brad Cashman, Executive Director of the PIAA, and an outstanding tournament this weekend. Mark?
Well, Gary and Brad, yeah, it has been an outstanding weekend, an outstanding tournament. And Gary, if you want to hang with me just for a second or two, I'd like to talk about some of the things that we've seen over this great weekend of football. We've only got 2 more quarters to play here at the Hershey Park Stadium. We saw 4 tremendous ball games, some great high school talent on the football field here throughout the weekend. The weekend began with sort of a mild upset in the single A bracket as Rochester took out Southern Columbia. Rochester coming in with a 1-2 record after their first 3 games, a first-year head coach, had to replace a lot of defensive and offensive starters, and they came in and they took out Southern Columbia, which is, like I said, a mild upset to some.
Well, for Southern Columbia, you just feel for them so badly, though. 5 losses in like the last 7 years. I mean, just such a tough thing for them. It's a wonderful program Jim Roth has over there, but certainly you have to have your hats off to Rochester, a game bunch that came in here last night.
Well, and speaking of last night, then the nightcap, the AAA game, it is truly a classic. It will go down in the annals of the PIAA championships as one of the truly great games. Strathaven defends their state title successfully with a 31-28 victory over West Allegheny. this ball game had a little bit of everything, including a last-second field goal from Strathaven to win it.
Mark, that might have been the most superb football game I have ever seen, not just on a high school level, but on any level. And to finish it with a 24-yard field goal the way we saw last night was absolutely unbelievable.
Yeah, we were talking to a lot of coaches up here in the booth following that ball game, and they said that that is one of the finest football games they've seen, like you said, at any level at any time.
Well, Mark, I know it's a special announcement coming up right now from Bob Schellenberg on a good friend of ours, Jed Donahue. You want to tune in for that one?
Absolutely. Wouldn't miss it. We're awaiting a special award ceremony where our own Jed Donahue will be honored at half of this Quad A championship game. Let's listen in.
Outstanding recipient, the winner of the 2000 Pennsylvania Football News Senior Award, Mr. Jed Donahue from Speaker Sports and PCN. The award presented by Tom Elling, editor of Pennsylvania Football News. Ladies and gentlemen, your media professional of the year 2000, Jed Donahue. Congratulations.
Appreciate it. Thanks. There we have it.
Award like this being recognized the media person of the year by the football writers, and that's certainly you know, hats off to them. We've sat alongside them for a long time. I know you're proud as I am.
Absolutely, and it couldn't have been gone to a more deserving person. The Pennsylvania Football Writers News Award 2000 goes to Jed Donahue. Jed has done so many football games over the year at the high school level. He's a true friend to the high school football programs, high school athletic programs throughout this state. Jed Donahue was there in 1988 covering the first state championship games as we're getting ready to start the second half, and here he is, year 2000, covering the latest edition of the PA High School Football Championships. Gary?
Well, I'm going to do something I've never done. I'm going to interview Jed Donahue right here, Pennsylvania Football News. Jed, Media Person of the Year. Hey, a real special award for a special person, my friend.
Well, that's nice of you to say, Gary. Tom and Rich do a great job with the Pennsylvania Football News, and it's just, as I've said all weekend, a privilege to be part of this statewide. This is our 9th tournament. I know you and I have worked together in basketball. This will be our 10th, and this is just wouldn't be anywhere else on Saturday. You know how that is in December.
I know I speak for Mark and I and all the PCN crew and people around the state that have a chance to hear you, the voice of PCN over the years in Pennsylvania sports. Just an outstanding job and really an honor to work with you, and a guy couldn't be more deserving of this award than you are.
That's so nice of you to say, Gary. It's just the best, man. You know, this whole crew, everybody.
Now, Joel Bechtel said it's time to get back to work, get back to the booth right now, so we'll send you back upstairs.
It's a football game, right? This will be a great second half.
Jed Donahue, ladies and gentlemen, the Football Media Award of the Year, and again, no one is more deserving. Mark?
All right, come on back up here. Jed breaks over. Let's go. We got a second half to play, and what a second half it's going to be. 13-7 is the score right here at halftime. Now, Jed and I have seen many, many championship ball games over the past several years, and this is shaping up to be one of the better ones. Central Bucks West with a 13-7 lead over Erie Cathedral Prep here at the half. You know, smells a lot like last year's game, the 14-13 Classic, where Central Bucks West blocked a punt in the final minute, took it into the end zone for the game-winning touchdown. That was a heartbreaking loss for Erie Cathedral Prep, but Erie Cathedral Prep, they said that prior to their game last week with Mount Lebanon in the Western Final, they heard that Central Bucks West won the East by beating Bethlehem Catholic. They were very happy about that. They knew they were going to get their shot at a rematch at Central Bucks West after that heartbreaking defeat right here in 1999, and they want to make the most of it. Here.
Today, he thinks Erie Cathedral Prep's the best team he ever saw. They're down by 6 points right now. What's that say about Central Bucks West? But the thing, Mark, that really would concern me here in the second half so far, if I was Erie Cathedral Prep and Mike Missler, is that time of possession.
Yeah.
Central Bucks West just does not allow you to have a lot of opportunities. to me, that 13-7 score right now looks like a 2-score lead in this kind of game. It's going to be interesting, I think, for Erie Cathedral Prep to try to really establish some momentum to start the third quarter.
I agree with you, Gary. That stat was the absolute whopper. 17:43 time of possession for Central Bucks West in the first half of play, as opposed to 6 minutes and 43 seconds for Erie Cathedral Prep. Central Bucks West ran 40 plays as opposed to Erie Cathedral Prep's 16 offensive plays.
I think the other point, too, is watch the defense of Central Bucks West. They keep changing that 4 and 5 front on their line, and then their backers, their corners, their safeties really do a lot of moving back there. It's very, very disrupting to the offense, and that's one of the reasons that I think we saw Erie Cathedral Prep still probing around for some kind of combination offensively at the end of the half.
Yeah, I agree. I agree with you, Gary. They really haven't found a rhythm as of yet, but they're very fortunate because they do have some game breakers that can put some points on the board while they wait and find an offensive rhythm.
Let's get the media person.
You elected to defer. You won the toss. It's now your choice. You want the ball. CB West, which way would you like to kick? Defend that goal, okay. Right, so you want to come down with me? Yeah, you're going to come down with me. Swing around, guys. Cathedral Prep will receive.
Well, there you go.
Back upstairs to the media person of the year, Mark. Here we go.
That's right. The media person of the year. Let me be the second one to congratulate you very much, Jed, on a well-deserved award.
Thank you, Mark.
You're a friend of high school athletics, have been for a long time. One of the best in the business. Love working with you.
You're a big reason why. I mean, we've done over 1,000 games together over 13 years and been all these championship games. Well, second half keys here. It's 13-7. Gary, I think from a coach's standpoint, let's tap into that a little bit. You know, Prep got dominated statistically, and I think of whether the storm to only be down by 6, that block extra point by Field could be huge later on.
It's funny you mentioned that. Mark and I were just talking about that. I said, this 13-7 score, if I'm a coach walking out here the second half, looks to me like I'm 2 scores down because of the way they dominate and keep you on the field defensively, and they shorten the number of opportunities that you're going to get in the game. I think this offensive possession here to start the third quarter for Erie Cathedral Prep to get some kind of consistency going on any kind of drive is absolutely paramount for them in this game.
Well, this being on that field, Gary, it's first time. I mean, we're up here, but it's a fast track. It's amazing how that has been able to weather so many games all weekend long.
Well, these guys have just been working between games constantly and just doing the job out here. As you heard, 5 guys out here working all night last night, and the field is superb. I mean, it's a great field to play on. I've heard a lot of players commenting down here that good traction. I mean, not a problem at all, and it's been a wonderful, wonderful service all weekend.
Well, the kickoff return, as we've seen over this weekend, huge as far as establishing field position, and there are a lot of game breakers. Here's Wibberly. Hits a roller, hopping up to Hinkle, and Hinkle puts his head down to the 35-yard line.
Tell you what, I'm going to give you a little clue as to, I don't think everything has gone as planned for Mike Carey at Central Bucks West, even though they've dominated the first half offensively, time of possession, number of offensive plays. Mike Carey used all 3 of his timeouts with 9 minutes to go in the first half of play. So he was seeing something that he really didn't like. He wanted to get something squared away.
Well, I think he was doing it in the red zone, or at least toward the red zone. He wanted to maximize those opportunities. They really went 1 for 2 inside that 20. The opening half. Here's Hinkle. He's going to pitch it to Walker. Walker trying to get the corner. Breaks 1 tackle and gets positive yardage, about 3 or 4 yards, and that's about it. He's going to get strung out. John Arsenault, and on the stop, also there, Jim Fagnani.
Tom McKinstry, he's the defensive end, 205 pounds. He comes in right away. And there's Jim Fagnani as well, out of the linebacker spot.
You read about McKinstry. He really came over out of that defensive end spot. And again, keep Walker in front of you. That's the main deal. He's got all that speed. He's a legit 4.5 40 guy. We've already seen him hit the home run from 67 yards out. He'll get a second try in a row and back into the secondary. He's on his feet still. 50-40. Look out. Still alive. 20. It's a foot race, and it's a touchdown. Wow. 61 yards. Juwan Walker, and they're an extra point from taking the lead now. 1 minute into the second half, and Walker somehow kept his balance and tightly along the sideline and scores.
There we're going to see it, left side of the line. You see the pulling guard right there, opening up the hole for Juwan Walker. Breaks a tackle.
Ran right over Dave Camber.
Right over Camber. Scampers down the sidelines for a 61-yard touchdown. Very quick two-play drive, 65 yards.
2 touchdowns tonight, 18 on the season. Bradley Wernicke is in for the conversion. We've got a whistle and a flag down.
Jed, I don't know if you saw any of the first half stats, but Gary and I were talking about them at the half. Time of possession. Central Bucks West in the first half of play, 17 minutes.
Encroachment on the defense.
They'll decline.
Erie Cathedral Prep, a little bit more than 6 minutes. So the lopsided time of possession really means nothing when you get big hitting, game-breaking plays.
Encroachment, defense, decline.
So now they'll get the extra point, the all-important block by Eric Field after the second touchdown by West. Snap down, the kick is good, and Erie Cathedral Prep leads for the first time at 14-13. They've used 2 plays from Juwan Walker to wiggle off and get the lead.
Wow, 1 minute into quarter number 3, and we've got a new leader in this ball game. There's Juwan Walker hitting the hole. Good lead blocks, running over Dave Camber. That takes some toughness. Not only is Juwan Walker fast as lightning, as you can see him outrace the Central Bucks West defenders.
That's Gavin Potter who almost got him.
But that was a tough hit that got away from Dave Camber.
Look at the leg strength of Walker, too. I mean, he's thick down there. I mean, you just cannot arm tackle him. And
no, you can't.
And it was Camber who he just leveled and rolled right over, and then he was off to the races from there. And now Central Bucks West will get the opportunity to counterpunch.
He's so fast and shifty, he's very tough to get a good solid hit on.
So we've got another epic brewing. The number 5 team in the country, Erie Cathedral Prep. The number 8 team in this week's USA Today Top 25 is Central Bucks West. Prep's only lost the last 2 years in the final last year, 14-13.
Yeah, I was going to say, that's a familiar number.
This time it's favoring Prep, you're right. Last year was Elsing on the block. This time the kick. It's going to hop up for James West. He's going to start the journey the other way. He's a game breaker. They better be careful here. One man to beat, still into the middle of the field. He's finally dragged down to the 44-yard line by Don Brown. Brown really put a big-time fire out there on West. 26-yard return.
Don Brown just may have saved a touchdown. James West looking for a hole, reading his blockers, heading to the far side of the field, shakes a tackler right there, picks up a nice block in the middle of the field, and here comes Don Brown to make the hit and possibly save a touchdown, at least another 10 yards.
But again, that kickoff return, good field position. Mike Oriel, the quarterback, going to roll right. Looks like a quarterback option. He's going to slam forward to about the 49. The play here, when we see this again, is Charles Rush in the lateral movement this young man has. Let me read Rush's number, 6'3", 280, and look how he can get out on the break.
Look at Rush coming right at your screen. Big 59 right there. Following it right down the line and making the play.
Go ahead, Gary.
Circle champion. I mean, and the 4th best lineman in the country, they talk about it. But you look right now at Central Bucks West, they are not going to be able to beat Erie Cathedral Prep laterally. It's just not going to happen. You got to go up the gut.
Can't go north-south against this speed. You got to run right at it, which they'll do with DeGiacomo. DeGiacomo wiggles forward. He's close to a first down. He's about a yard shy. Dale Williams in on the stop. Also, Juwan Walker was in there to undercut a little bit.
In a hurry, and that's exactly what Erie Cathedral Prep has been able to do.
Third and 2 for West. They'll pitch. This is Bob Warden. He's got the first down. Moore has 5, has 10 to the 35 of Erie Cathedral Prep. Bob Warden was a huge factor in this game last year after the injuries to Pasciati and to Giacomo. Came in as a third-string tailback this year, providing some big bolt off the bench.
There you saw Charles Rush get knocked down, chopped down more like it, at the line of scrimmage. Ed Hinkle, big play out of the safety spot. Bob Warden had a full head of steam. He had the corner. Hinkle doesn't come over to make that stop, and who knows, Warden may be off on a touchdown scamper.
Delighted to have the chairman of the board of the Hershey Entertainment and Resort Company, Scott Newcomb, joining us here in our broadcast center, right over the 50-yard line. Start talking to Scott here momentarily. Big play here, 1st and 10 at the 34. Quick handoff to Giacomo, and he's wiggling and diving forward to about the 28-yard line. Joe Dupre got his hands on him, but not before he got about 5 or 6 yards. Scott, great weekend, isn't it? I mean, last night, great game, and you've got an epic brewing right now.
How about that? We're deja vu all over again. Just the score's just a little opposite, though. It's exciting, I'll tell you that.
Just the atmosphere, everything's lit up. I see the Wildcat over here. The bowl atmosphere you wanted to create. Alabama last night. You're even throwing a hockey game at people tonight. The chocolate and white are home.
There's always something happening here in Hershey, I'll tell you.
That's kind of the goal, though, isn't it? Trying to just create events and as many as you can in and around for people to do and all that.
Absolutely. It's a quality of life right here in central Pennsylvania.
How about this football this weekend? I know you've been watching and also been dropping by and visiting. It's been something.
This is just outstanding football.
Here's to Giacomo on a pitch. And he gets forward, close to a first down. Fields got him from behind. Also, Lustig is there on the stop.
It's a real difficult play to stop. You got the pulling guards coming out, leading the way.
Well, Charles Rush, now they're saying it's 3rd and 2. I got my downs wrong.
Jawan Walker, he's more or less the suicide guy that goes in there and breaks up that wedge, enabling Fields to come in and make the stop. Fields has been in a football game and detect a little rip on that jersey right about there.
He's got that huge blocked extra point. That's the difference in the game for now.
Yep.
The motion man is Potter. Oriole's going to hand it off to Giacomo again. He's got the first down to the 21-yard line. He dives for 4 more. Well, the offensive lines, we knew that's where the game was going to be played, and for Central Bucks West, that's a big reason why this winning streak is at 59.
Longest winning streak in the state of Pennsylvania. Second longest winning streak in the state of Pennsylvania was extended last night when Strathaven, in a thriller, knocked off West Allegheny 31-28 to win the AAA title.
Down to the sideline, Gary Sutton. Gary?
You know, we went back to something we talked about at the top of the show tonight, the fact that Central Bucks West living off the north-south stuff, the fact that Prep is living off east-west. Let's see if they go back north-south.
Quick handoff, James West. Nothing fancy about that. Just bang right into the middle, and he's got 5 or 6. Average yards on first down. We knew that would be a key stat. CB West at about the 5 or 6 yard mark, and here's a good reason why.
Watch the hole that opens up on the left side of the line there. Isn't that something?
Scott Newcomb is with us, the chairman of the board, and you got the break with the weather, and this is kind of the showcase I think you were looking for. This whole thing. I mean, the weather does have to cooperate. This is December in PA, right?
Weather is key, and the field has held up tremendously.
I was just down there, and it has held. It is a fast track still. Over 120 events. Here's to Giacomo cutting back on that field for a first down or close to it. Ball pops out, but the whistle blew it dead. Gary, you're down there. Is he on the line, or is it close?
He's a yard short right now, a short yard, but it's a yard short. He really got pushed back in a hurry. You know, the thing that Central Bucks West doesn't let you do, Jed, they don't let you have momentum for very long. Erie Cathedral Prep has gotten the momentum on 2 big plays thus far, and the first time Central Bucks West was able to answer, they're trying to do exactly the same thing right now and recapture momentum and try to sustain it.
Big stick from the safety, Jawan Walker, to keep CB West from picking up the first down.
They've converted 3rd down twice already in this drive, making 3 in a row as Giacomo picks his way to the 9-yard line where it's going to be goal to go. You're opening the new Giant Center, Scott, in July of 2002. It's got to be an exciting time here because of what that building is going to be able to bring to the table here.
Well, when you think about what that means here, we're talking about the existing Hershey Park Arena being about 87,000 square feet. the new Giant Center is going to be over 300,000 square feet.
Wow.
So that's almost 4 times as large.
Well, you don't realize that until you...
That's huge. That's huge.
That will be the future home for wrestling and basketball as DiGiacomo gets the carry. He's still pushing, and he's all the way to the about the 4-yard line. Well, I know it's a new year, but I mean, this is same old drive we've been seeing for the better part of a decade here from West.
Well, that's right. Whether it's Dave Armstrong carrying the ball, whether it's Dustin Bisciotti carrying the ball, whether it's DiGiacomo carrying the ball, Bob Warden, James West, take your pick. These guys, they just reload, and they run the same system. A lot of multiple formations.
Gary, you really sense tempo, don't you? I didn't mean to step on you there. Go ahead.
But watch the way they line up. It's always 2 to 3 yards. It's not like the USC 7-yard drop for the tailback, so you always get it close to the line. Tough to see who's getting the ball.
DiGiacomo's got 2 touchdowns rushing in this game. Looking for his 3rd. He's not going to get there. Charles Rush got him around the legs, and Big Dale Williams, number 74. Our guys down on the field saw how big this young man is. 6'7", 305, and he can really get out.
Yeah, just a kid. There's number 74, Dale Williams. And like you said earlier, Jed, he's got a lot of speed for a 300-pounder. A couple of All-Americans on this Erie Prep defensive unit. Dale Williams is one. Division I looks, of course, Charles Rush, Ed Hinkle, and Joe Dupre.
This guy, you had good timing. You came out and joined us for one of the big drives of this football game. Just sit and enjoy it with us here. DiGiacomo for the 3rd time. Touchdown, Central Bucks West. They're back on the lead again at 19-14 in the all-important extra point. I think they may be going for 2. Gary, do you have an indication of what they want to do down there?
I think right now they're going to come in here and maybe kick it for 1. We'll wait and see.
I think he's going for 2. I don't see Wibberley on the field.
Well, they're chatting now.
Yeah.
Mike Carey's got him over the side. I think they are going to go for 2. They've changed their mind. They're going to send him out and go in for 2 right now. And there again, the answer comes from CB West as they answer the momentum breaker that Erie Cathedral Prep threw with the big-time play.
Well, they always say go for 2 if it's a 5-point type game, because it really is insignificant a 6 or a 5. So this is the good call. Look for Oriole maybe to sprint out here. He can run and or pass. He's going to roll out, looks, throws, pass, caught. They got the 2. It's James West, and they're on the lead now, 21-14. Impressive drive, 12 plays, 56 yards, 6 minutes, 21 seconds. Scott, let's do the touchdown again.
We're going to see the touchdown. There's DiGiacomo, his 3rd 1-yard touchdown run of the ball game. And here comes the 2-point conversion, a thing of beauty. Watch the athleticism of the quarterback, Mike Oriole. Intended receiver, looking at him, James West the whole way. Takes 1 step into the end zone, the ball's right there.
Scott, one more question for you. I mean, just a beautiful night, not only for football. You got Candy Lane. It's the parking, the lodging, and everything that you're used to doing, right, with the Hershey Park during the summer that makes this an easier event for you to pull off. It's not easy, but easier because of the experience you get year-round.
Exactly. I mean, this is just an extension of what we do in the summertime. And the Hershey community really does embrace this whole event. It's not just Hershey Entertainment Resorts. It's the entire population here that is excited and thrilled about having this event here for the past few years.
And I know that the road to Hershey, you want that for all sports, and I know that that's going to be continuing under your regime.
We're going to make our best effort to make that happen in the future, that's for sure.
Well, thank you to you and your staff for a job well done and being just gracious hosts the entire weekend to us and everybody around the state.
Well, thank you, and don't want to miss the rest of this game,
right,
that's for sure.
Absolutely.
Thanks.
Scott Newcomb, thank you. There's a big return. Tim Dance, he did it against Altoona. He's going to do it here against Central Bucks West. 90 yards, and we're going to be tied momentarily. Incredible. How good was that play?
I'll tell you, this weekend just keeps getting better and better and better. We've seen some tremendous football games this weekend, and this one's shaping up to be a barn burner. Watch Tim Dance, like you said, he did against Altoona, a big touchdown run from the kickoff in Altoona. And when they need it most here, here's Tim Dance turning on the Jets. A lot of open field ahead of him. Goes virtually untouched, 90 yards into the end zone. What an electrifying touchdown run from Tim Dance.
And the extra point, Wernicke, it's a big one, and it is good. He's got a powerful leg, and we're right back where we started at 21. Let's go down to Gary Sutton. Gary?
Well, you know, you just feel like the gauntlet gets thrown down here every time. Erie Cathedral Prep comes out second half, throws the big play at you. March back down the field, comes CB West. They score and answer. And then again, the third big play of the game for Erie Cathedral Prep. I think I'd call this game the tale of two cities. The big play versus the sustained drive. That's been the storyline all game.
Look at the burst he has in the open field here. He just, and a great block from Jason Easter. He just got that burst.
If we see that
push
again, I'm going to try to count the guys that he outruns from midfield on. He found that seam and then just blew by, I'd say no less than half a dozen Central Bucks West players. Pure speed from Tim Dance. Gets him into the end zone from 90 yards out. Here, we're going to see it again. Here's this nice seam that he's got, right? And look at all these guys that he's passing. Here's another one. About a half dozen Central Bucks West players he outruns when he hits that seam in the middle of the field.
All right, it's great to get the 90-yard kickoff return. Here's the rub. He's still got to play defense again, and West is just going to start leaning on you a little bit. So that's what you've got to start thinking about. Looks like they're going to pop this kick up a little bit short. Allkelder there, and they do. Makes a roll, and they're going to let it go out of bounds. They'll get first down at the 35-yard line.
Well,
West
that's right.
did the smart thing. He guarded it while it went out of bounds.
That's a very good point, Chet. Now West will take the offensive side of the ball once again, and Erie Cathedral Prep's defense will be forced to take the field after very little rest. And a lot of these guys go both ways.
I'm sure they'll take it. I'm sorry, Gary. Go ahead.
The big thing right here for Erie Cathedral Prep right now is to prove that they can stop CB West and sustain that momentum they're getting from the big plays. So far, the big plays have been isolated. They've not been able to back them up with big-time stops on defense, and CB West has had their way with the clock marching down the field, keeping that defense out there for a long time, and that fatigue factor could begin to wear as we get ready for the fourth quarter.
Well, Tim Dance. There's Ed Hinkle right there, one of the top performers in this state. Under center is Oriole. The motion man is Potter, and they'll pitch it to Giacomo. They're really giving him a heavy load here in this third quarter. To Giacomo, can't get the corner. Ball is free. Erie Cathedral Prep's got the fumble at the 39. Rolling on it was Lustig, I believe.
That's exactly what Gary was talking about in regard to the momentum. There's Charles Rush. He may have been the guy that stripped this ball out of the hands of DiGiacomo. There you see Rush. The lateral pursuit. We've been talking about the Erie Cathedral Prep's lateral pursuit the whole ball game.
Got a player down for West over on the far side of the field.
Ball hits
Dupree recovers. Dupree, rather. It's Lustig who forced it, isn't it? Great camera work here, gang. Ooh, great play.
Tough tackle.
Great coverage. Beautiful job.
Tough tackle by Josh Lustig.
That happened so far away from us. I mean, this really takes you the game within a game, and I don't want to speculate as to who that is. I cannot get a number at all.
I'll tell you what, that was a very tough tackle from Lustig. He came in, big hard hit. And I think that may be DiGiacomo down on the ground.
Jed, if you're Mike Missler right now.
Bill Lupo knocked it loose. Go ahead, Gary.
If you're Mike Missler right now, you're going to have a chance to add another piece to this puzzle here in the second half as the player is up and walking off.
It's DiGiacomo.
Like it is DiGiacomo.
Yeah. I just didn't want to say anything there because I just wasn't sure. Go ahead.
Well, and, you know, Mike Missler right now has not proven in this game that his team can sustain a drive. Now, that sounds kind of funny because you have 3 big plays that have led to your 21 points. But he desperately here wants to get a drive and wants to sustain momentum. We've talked about that a lot. Let's see what happens.
Ball at the 40. This is the best starting position for any drive that Prep has had on the evening so far.
3 wide left.
Tied at 21. Hand off Walker. You mean Walker doesn't have a 60-yard run here? That's only 3 or 4? He has a 67, a 61-yard touchdown run in this game.
Every Erie
this time
Prep
a little more
score,
conventional, right?
Every Erie Prep score has been a big play. Yeah, that's right.
Magnani in on the stop for CB West. Well, this game has certainly lived up to its billing. You betcha. It's 21-21. Tim Dance just electrified this building with a 90-yard kickoff return to tie it again. Walker the other way, breaks 1 tackle. Can he get the corner? Yes, he can. He's close to a first down. Fran Golden holding on for dear life from behind for the Bucks.
This is just a great run by Walker. Gavin Potter, that tough linebacker, number 21. Look at him. He's in the backfield almost immediately. Shakes the tackle and picks up near first down yardage. Just shy. They're going to take a measurement. That's a good, tough
running
run.
well to help out, too.
Here, watch number 21, Potter, come shooting in there from his linebacker spot. Shook another tackle as well.
Barillo, who's had a great game tonight.
Angelo Barillo is a real tough tackler. Looks like they might have about a half a ball short or so.
Walker, 7 carries for 146 yards. And again, I thank Steve Trees, George Zurich, who's been with us from the beginning. Wouldn't think of doing a championship event without Big George in the stats. And Travis Sparks helping us spot as well.
These guys are the master of all numbers. They tell you what the numbers are and what the trends are.
Does a lot of our background work for us. Most of it, actually. 3rd and 1. Ball at the 30. Big play in this game. Pretty big, deep drop. They're going to do a quarterback sneak with Hinkle, and he gets enough push. First down. Prep. The drive continues.
Well, Hinkle, 6'4", big athletic quarterback, and he just follows the pile. And why not? You got guys like
Charles Rush, Dale Williams.
Williams. That's, my gosh, that's almost a...
You know, he's having a good game for them tonight for Prep. And I mean, a really good game is Matt Parsons. He's another one of these D1 prospects. He's been brilliant on both sides. Number 68 for Erie Cathedral Prep tonight.
Darn near a half ton of beef up front for those guys to run behind.
There's a Gorge. Here he comes. Hinkle on the outside. He's a game breaker at 10. Hinkle cutting back all the way to the 3-yard line. A gain of 25. Well, how good is Hinkle? I mean, the second leading guy, and he got a seal-off block. They came out and stunned it, and he was off to the races.
Yeah, that's a great block there to seal it. Here's another one.
Field's just been great tonight for them.
And look at this. Continues after this tough hit downfield. That's one of the things that Central Bucks West wanted to do, is contain Hinkle, keep him in the pocket. You see how dangerous he is once he gets that corner.
Grezgoreski, the center, has just been great tonight, too, up front, especially here in this 3rd quarter. Handoff in. No, he's to the 1. That's Jason Easter getting a rare carry at things.
And that item that you saw pop into the air was not the football. That was someone's helmet. Looks like it might be Dave Camburn.
Wow.
Watch this. You're going to see an item pop into the air right around here.
That's a helmet.
That's a helmet, not a football.
It's ferocious down there. Gary can give us an idea. Gary, I was amazed how big they are. I mean, we've been up here, up top. We've got a whistle and an official's timeout, but the hitting down there is just intense. They are swapping paint in a big-time way in those trenches.
Well, it's ferocious so far. We've had 3 helmets pop off tonight in this game alone, and it's just been absolutely unbelievable, the intensity along that line. You know, I'm also looking here. I'm wondering if Mike Mishler saw something on the right side of that Central Bucks line at halftime, because they have attacked the left side this whole second half. When you think about it, everything they've done that's had big success has come on the left side of the field.
Well, buckle the chin straps, boys. That's what Central Bucks West is saying right now. Here we go. We're in a tight one, 21 apiece with Erie Cathedral Prep. A 2nd and goal from the 1. Inside the 1, actually. Knows that football's not too far away from the goal line as you're looking at Ed Hinkle.
I think you run behind Grezgoreski in the center with a quarterback sneak here. A real safe play. Nope, they're going to run Easter. Touchdown. He flew right over Dale Williams. Easy score. Erie's back on the lead now, 27-21. Mark furiously writing, you're going to run out of paper. What a 3rd quarter we have seen.
I'll say.
Buck 37 left. And on for the conversion is Bradley Wernicke. Let's see the touchdown, and Eric Field, good lead block.
Eric Field, great lead block. Plenty of room to go in for the touchdown and the go-ahead score, 27-21. Erie Cathedral Prep with the last 2 scores of this ball game. A 90-yard TD run from Tim Dance.
6-play, 39-yard drive, 2 minutes, 41 seconds. The snap is down. The kick is good. 28-21 now. Erie Cathedral Prep. Well, CB West has been in some tight spots before, but
Here you're going to see Jason Easter go in once again.
That's Fields who really blew that open in there. And the turnover, they cash in. The fumble by DiGiacomo. And now all of the CB West, if we can get the shot, is gathering around Mike Carey. Rallying the troops right now.
Everyone up.
On the far side. Everybody came off the bench, and Coach Carey is holding court right now. Go to Gary. What's he talking about, do you think?
I think he's thinking right now, hey, I don't want to be the first coach to lose a game here in 4 years. Mike Pettin let me take over. I was waiting for my shot 23 years, and he's telling his kids, hey, let's go right back to what we normally do, get back into our mode. We got a lot of time left in this game. For Erie Cathedral Prep, this is a different offensive team that come out here in the field the second half. They are explosive, and they have now sustained a drive and cashed in for their first lead.
He was the perfect choice to take over from Mike Pettin for this job. There's a lot of, talk that, Mike Pettin Jr. might leave North Penn. It never came about. Now they get the kick. Here's James West. They're going to try and get him going. They are very work on these kickoff returns, very much so, but again, Prep is really flying to the ball on special teams, and a good tackle is made by Joe Evanoff.
Back to the coaching situation. Mike Carey, a friend of Mike Pettin's and an associate football comrade for 23 years. Mike Pettin retired about a month after he won his final state title here. Back on January 13th, he announced his retirement. Mike Carey took over. And Mike Carey pieced together a tremendous season.
Andy Cuthbert was also in the rumor mill, a former great player in the late 80s, early 90s, went on to the University of Duke. But Carey was the guy, long-time defensive line coach. And here comes Bob Warden in, and DePrey has got him, and Charles Rush is underneath, and so is Jawan Walker. And, now there's a little extra pop in that step for the defense of Erie Cathedral Prep here as they ride the lead at 28-21.
And DiGiacomo banged up his knee on the last series, and that fumble.
10,043 the attendance today. That's good. That's an excellent number, and it's going to get better each year.
It'll be interesting to see if we do see Phil DiGiacomo come back in. But Bob Warden, he's been a tremendous back for Central Bucks West throughout the season as well, picking up over 700 yards.
Oriole back under the gun, now throws off balance, throws in, and it's almost intercepted. DePrey just missed it. Didn't see where that ball, I think it's Ingram who had popped out of there with. That's a tough ball to handle. This is a dangerous throw by Oriole.
It sure is. There's a lot of orange in the vicinity. Oriole looking and looking and looking. Finally, tries to force it in.
Look at there.
And watch this. This ball's still hot. And DePrey,
look at that,
very close to the INT.
Sorry, Mark. There's 4 Prep defenders around him. They are really flying right now. There's your time remaining on the screen. Delighted to have you on the Pennsylvania Cable Network. Pennsylvania's network of champions. You're seeing an epic. Oriole rolling. Now he sets up. He's going to have to run. He's in huge trouble. That ball pops out. Incomplete.
That's a good call.
Charles Rush. Eric Field. Gary?
Well, what Erie Cathedral Prep has now been able to do is exactly what we said both teams are looking to try to do, is to sustain momentum right now. And they've been able to do that at the moment. We're going to wait and see. There's a penalty flag down. It's being discussed at the moment. And this could be a momentum killer for Erie Cathedral Prep. We'll wait and see.
There's Matt Parsons in there, not Rush, along with Field. There is a flag on the field. Let's see what it is. Let's go to the field here. This against Prep. Huge call here for Central Bucks West. Huge. That's 15 yards.
Here you look at the Prep coaching staff. Not liking what they see right there. They had Central Bucks West stopped dead in their tracks.
They really had this game,
That was a big play.
Erie's playing this game at their volume before this penalty here.
Remember that call. I'll tell you what, that is a huge call here that kind of lets Central Bucks West hang on.
No question, Gary.
Good holding against the defense. First down.
I'm not sure who they got on that. And we'll look at it again here, but that is huge, and that takes it all the way to the 49-yard line.
It may have been away from the ball. From the look of watching Oriole, he wasn't looking. He was looking down here somewhere, ended up throwing over this direction. So I think the intended receiver may have been the one that was held.
First and 10 for Central Bucks West. You don't want to give a champion too many extra outs. Hand off to Giacomo. They barely got it there, but he gets positive yardage as he struggles and winds his way into prep territory to about the 47-yard line.
Good to see that young man back up on his feet.
See the handoff? They barely got that done.
Yeah, well, you know, that's what Gary was talking about. They line up very tight in the formation, very close to the line of scrimmage. No room for error. You don't take 3 or 4 steps before you get the handoff. You take 1, maybe a half a step before that ball's in your belly.
Bill Lupo, and they're going to count out the third quarter here. 28-21. Erie Cathedral Prep, a 90-yard kickoff return from Tim Dance. A 1-yard run by Jason Easter, and a 61-yard run to give them the lead early third quarter from Jawan Walker. And CB West used a long drive of their own for their third touchdown of the night. Translation, great finish coming, 28-21.
I'll tell you what, yeah, if this fourth quarter is anything like the third, hang on, buckle the chin strap. That was one of the most entertaining quarters of football we've seen this weekend. 2 heavyweights slugging it out here for the Quad A title. Erie Cathedral Prep, unbeaten, ranked nationally. Total yards, Prep 201, CB West 273 for the ball game.
Gary, how do you view this winning streak? Added pressure, or do you welcome that as we look at the kissing tower at the top of that? What are you thinking about that right now?
I think you welcome it because it always keeps the bar high for you. You don't ever have to talk about raising the bar again. It keeps it right up there all the time. And so you put yourself on a different level than other teams, and that's the way you keep people motivated.
Beautiful Hershey, Pennsylvania.
Who in the world puts the lights up on that? Ugh.
Not me. I can't get on a ladder. Here we go with West. About the 45 of Erie Cathedral Prep. Jawan Walker is getting involved out of that safety spot. Also in there is Brian White. Big Charles Rush on the scene. There is James West. He's had a marvelous year, a 5'9" junior. He'll be one of the featured guys next year. One of the keys with West is they were always able to play backups in the second half. They had a few games every year where they would play well into the fourth quarter, but has helped, you know, that's how they've been able, like Sharks team, just plug in and keep on rolling here.
That's right. We saw that used to its effectiveness last year when Dustin Pisciotti went out early in the first quarter.
So many different discipline sets. Now they run West to the outside. If he gets a seal-out block, and it's blown up from behind. Eric Field, he has just been sensational tonight for Cathedral Prep. What a night he's having.
Yeah.
That's his 8th tackle tonight.
Eric Field, defensive end. Watch this. West trying to turn the corner, and then from behind, Eric Field coming in to make the stop. All the way across the field he traveled. We've said it before, we'll say it again. The lateral pursuit from Erie Prep's defense has been absolutely phenomenal. You just cannot get the corner on these guys.
We're in the fourth quarter, and Central Bucks West will go on 4th down and 4. 2 wide receivers lining up to the bottom of your screen. Ingram is the guy that's going to get single coverage. He may be the hot receiver. They go out to the flat to West, and he's got the first down. Barely. Depends on the spot. I think he got there. They're going to chain it, but I believe he's there. It's close, but he's there.
It is very close. It's a nice play, a little flare out. West makes the dive for the first down.
I think he's got it.
It's the knee where it is. Some of our coaches that are up here.
They saw the replay. They weren't too crazy about the spot, but
let's go to Gary. Gary, you're in there. What's up?
It's going to be right on the nose, I think.
Easily. Half a football. Well, not easily, but they got it. We can see that again, gang. It's maybe where the knee fell down. I think they got it right, though. There's that football. Great shot of it right there, and that is big first down. Now, where's the knee go down?
Knee goes down.
It's still on Hinkle. That's good. They got it right.
Here.
See, when it's on the player, he's not down yet.
That's right. That's exactly right.
His knee was on the player, and then he fell forward, and it's a first down.
That's how they picked it up.
They were right there. Power eye, the motion man is going to be and Golden. Back goes Oriole. Oriole got him open, looking, Ingram diving, and he just too far in front. So 28-21, 2nd and 10. That'll stop the clock.
Oriole with the play fake. Ingram doing a slant just across the middle. Oriole looking at him all the way downfield. He's open momentarily. Hinkle right there with the coverage as well. That'd have been a tough catch.
It's down to Gary.
Guys, I don't know if you can see it on the replay again, but down about 30 yards, Adam Scholl was standing about 20 yards away from any defender and waving his hands down there at Oriole and saying, I'm wide open, give me a look.
Probably came back to the huddle and said the same thing to his quarterback.
Well, you got to listen to your guys, you know, that are in the heat of battle downfield. Oriole, a senior, I'm sure will. He's back again. Blitz is coming. You better think about unloading. Wide open is DeGiacomo. Look out. He's got the 30. That's a foot race. 20 and out of bounds at the 12-yard line. Gain of 30. Beautiful screen, an imbalanced screen, and it was wide open.
That was a great screen play. Oriole does a great job in selling it. Sucks the defense in. Look, here comes Erie Prep, and there's DeGiacomo all alone.
They leaked him out
flats.
late, Mark, and he was just wide open. It was beautifully executed.
He ran about 25 yards before he was even met by an Erie Prep player.
What a great call. And again, senior leadership at the quarterback position. You let that thing kind of flush in a little bit, and then leaking out was DeGiacomo.
Knew just the right time.
Motion man is Potter. Here's DeGiacomo again. DeGiacomo just slams to the 5-yard line.
There's Josh Lustig once again. He's been involved in a football game tonight, I'll tell you.
Mono against mono. Ran over Lustig and then met Hinkle, I think. Yes, Lustig he ran over. Lustig has an offer on the table from William and Mary, an outstanding student. Out with a broken collarbone for 5 games this year.
Well, you can see why. He plays a hard-nosed brand of football.
Bang, bang. Brand of football. Here comes the 3-time defending state champion in Pennsylvania, trailing by 7, first, second down, and 4 at the 5. West dots the I. It's going to be Oriole. He's got a man open now. Threw it late, throws, tip, and incomplete. Potter was open earlier, and Oriole was late, and Carey, the head coach, is looking, saying, you know, you should have pulled the trigger about a second earlier. Yeah. That's an easy score.
Yeah, Gavin Potter found that corner of the end zone. You can see him there doing a sprint to the corner. He's wide open.
Jason Easler does a great job of getting a hand on that ball, too. It was a touchdown.
Yeah, Easter. 9:06. You're looking at Mike Oriole coming in on 3rd and 4. This is a huge call in this game. Handoff goes to Giacomo, and he slams forward. He might have the first down. They had to get inside the 2, and I believe he's got the first down. Gary, you're down there. What are you seeing?
Well, we'll wait for the spot here again, and if it gets a generous spot, he's got the first down easily. We're going to see right here.
He's got it, Gary.
He's got it easily.
All right. They even going to measure, or that since it's so close?
I don't think they're going to bother.
Yeah, they're going to bring it in just to make sure.
He's got it by at least a football.
We're looking at it right now, Mark.
Yeah, I believe he's got the first down, but you're right. They're going to measure, you know, the enormity of this call. Yeah, merits a measurement, so they're going to bring the chains out and see where we stand here.
It's like the ballot count in Florida, guys. You want to please the other side.
Well, they went with 7 officials a few years ago, and it was the correct move. I mean, games of this magnitude, you want to make sure you have the right arbiters in calling it right.
I stand corrected. He's going to miss it by about a nose.
Wow.
Well, what do you do?
Quarterback sneak, that's what I'm doing.
Yeah.
13th play of this drive coming up. It'll be 4th and inches.
About 4 links of the chain here, guys. That's about what he's got to go.
Well, you've got James West who can get up and over, too. You got a big offensive line that you can run behind. Sands has been doing a job all night.
Sands is their center. I say just take him. I mean, they're that close to a touchdown. If we get a shot at the ball in the end zone down there, that's the end zone line, folks. Didn't he just move that back about an inch? Everyone counts. Timeout for West. I mean, let's catch our breath a little bit. He's a yard from the end zone, and he's about half a foot to the first down.
This could be their biggest play call of the year right now.
I think it is, and maybe one of the bigger ones they've had in a long time. 59 in a row. We mentioned to you in the first half. Their last loss, 1996. Let's go down to Gary. And Gary, you think the winning streak plays into their favor here and it doesn't add pressure. I find that interesting you come up there with that.
Well, I really don't think it does. I think it really sets up the bar, keeps it high, keeps you on a good level, and keeps the edge the coaches want all the time. They've had their way between the tackles tonight. Watch it go between the tackles again here to try to get this first down or touchdown.
Is it Young Sanks? That's who we're looking for, the center. I think they're due a quarterback sneak here.
Josh Sands is the center. He's been doing a fine job all night. We got Justin Alton. Could be West over the top. A lot of weapons on that Bucs offensive side of the ball.
See what they're going to do here. This is huge. DiGiacomo, touchdown, Central Bucs West. DiGiacomo is in. He's got his 4th touchdown of the night. 28-27, and Wibberley is on for a monumental extra point.
Here you're going to see it. Right up the gut. Hands the ball to DiGiacomo. Good block on Charles Rush.
Arsenault.
One of the few times they neutralized the big fella, Charles Rush. And DiGiacomo goes into the end zone from 1 yard out untouched.
Wibberley on for the extra point. He's had one blocked tonight by Field. Snap down, kick is good. 28-28 with 8:56 left. 13 play, 63-yard march. 4 minutes, 37 seconds. DiGiacomo's 4th touchdown of the night on 4th and goal at the 1. Scores it. And here's the extra point, and these obviously large here, and Easter almost got a finger on it.
Easter came flying in from the far side. Darn near got a mid on it. DiGiacomo, 25 carries, 88 yards, and 4 touchdowns tonight. All 4 CB West scores coming from 1 yard out from Phil DiGiacomo.
Well, last night we had an epic in AAA. I guess I'll whip it around the dial right now. I didn't think we'd top it. Guys were involved in one here as well, Mark. What a weekend. There's Dale Williams and Charles Rush.
There's a tandem.
Taking a breather.
Those 2 guys will tighten up a bench, I'll tell you.
Look at that steam coming off their head.
305 pounds right there. 280 right there. Charles Rush. He's going to be playing on Saturdays very shortly.
There's a man visiting UCLA next week. I do believe that will be welcome relief. Well, here's the return game. Tim Dance took it 90 yards to the end zone the last time.
They're not going to kick it anywhere near Dance.
They pop it up. Hinkle, he's got a 90-yard punt return, but Zach Ingram says, I don't think so, at the 25-yard line. Sensational play on special teams there by Ingram.
That was about
senior.
as fast as a special teams player can get down the field on a kickoff. Look at this. No sooner does Hinkle get the ball and take about 2 or 3, 4 steps, and there's Zach Ingram.
How impressed are you with that march by Central Bucs West, dealing with adversity and getting back on even terms? Gary?
Jed, so important here for Erie Cathedral Prep to really get a drive. It would be their 2nd sustained drive of the game. They need it desperately right here. 8:51 to go. If you're Erie Cathedral Prep and Mike Missile, you don't want to turn it back over to a Central Bucs West team that can march one more time.
Been a menagerie of big plays as Hinkle drops, throws it into the flat, popped it up for Walker, and now Walker is free. Positive yardage up near the 28-yard line. It's only a gain of about 3. Very dangerous bloop pass by Hinkle out into the flat.
Yeah, floated out into the air, let Walker run underneath it, and then let him do his magic. A lot of air under that ball, very tight to the line of scrimmage, a lot of white shirts from the Bucs around in the vicinity. Yeah, right on the money. It had to be on the money, or that baby could get picked and go the other way.
We are in clutch winning time right now. The stakes are enormous. There's Walker. He pull a muscle of some sort?
Maybe some cramps.
Yep. The full stack of wideouts to the top of your screen for Hinkle. The handoff Easter. He's got a big hole. Has 5 yards and a first down, I think, to the 36-yard line.
Right side doing a great job.
Unbalanced line, and Easter blew right through here, Mark.
Yeah, here you got Charles Rush leading the way. That's a great kick-out block.
That first down so important because it begins to build the drive now for Erie Cathedral Prep and gives them confidence now as they head into this second set of downs.
There's your time remaining. We are in the fourth quarter, as you can see on our box in the upper right. Delighted to have you here on the Pennsylvania Cable Network. 117 cable systems representing 2.7 million homes here in the state. Here's Hinkle, big quarterback draw right up the gut. He's still going. Hinkle's got midfield, holding on for dear life is James West, and he's got the 45. Gain on the play of 20. Well, nothing subtle about this, just a great quick hitting play behind Grzeruski, the center.
Well, that's right. You have a great athlete in Ed Hinkle. Shakes a tackle right there at the line of scrimmage, keeps going straight ahead, dragging DiGiacomo, hits him for a couple of yards. He's a good, tough runner out of the quarterback spot. Ed Hinkle, great athletic play.
Grzeruski, rather, the center, and now Hinkle under him again. 1st and 10 at the West 45. Now Prep is driving. Hand off Walker, and he's hit and dropped from behind. Great play by Gene Rich, a junior, has been all over the field tonight. He's one of the many Division I prospects that we're talking about.
Walker's limping again.
And he's had that ankle. How good is Rich tonight? Look at him.
Rich comes in.
He dragged. Do you see him? He pulled on that right foot. That's what the issue is. They're working on him.
Yeah, they are.
Go ahead, Mark.
Well, Walker was trying to continue the run, and Rich was wrapped around the feet, and he got hit high, too. Kind of got high load there. Walker having some trouble putting some weight what appears to be that left ankle.
Yeah, look, Gary checked that out with a staff over there on the bench. They'll look at him, but that's... He missed 5 games, and it allowed an opportunity for Tim Dance, and he was the leading rusher, 906 yards, and you can see what kind of playmaking ability Dance can bring to the table with his 90-yard kickoff return tonight. Mentioned to you that he saved the Altoona game with 1:30 and change with a 75-yard return for a touchdown, and now they're looking at 2nd and 10 of the 45.
Dance into the ball game right now is a wideout.
Hinkle, quick drop, looking, play action, now throwing, and it's wide open. Lustig caught. Lustig going 10-5 into the 4. And they say he stepped out up near the 14-yard line. 31 yards for Lustig. They say it's to the 14-yard line. What a play that is.
This is just a great route run by Josh Lustig. Gets past the receiver, the defender rather. It's not an easy ball to around. That's not an easy ball to catch either. It's thrown over his head. Lustig not only hauls it in, but dances down the sideline, stays inbound for a big, big gain.
They say he hit the white at the 14. Otherwise, it'd be down at the 4-yard line. A big difference. They're in field goal range. Here comes Eric Field. His third carry. Cuts back to the 5. Touchdown! Eric Field, 14 yards. And another big drive by Cathedral Prep, and they're on the lead again at 34-28. As these two heavyweights trade punches deep into the fourth quarter. Conversion coming. Another long drive, and how good's Field night been so far? He's been sensational.
You talk about the field of vision. He cut back to the center of the field, Eric Field did, where he saw some open spaces. Don't know if that play was designed to go where Eric Field took it. He took it into the end zone. Eric Field used some great vision to find the end zone in that particular play.
Six play, 75-yard drive, and the all-important extra point is good. 2 minutes, 33 seconds. Well, Field has been a guy all night long defensively.
Here you're going to see it from the line of scrimmage point of view. Look, Fields is coming this way, right towards our TV screen. And all of a sudden he stops and cuts inside. He saw a lot of open space right there.
Boy, string of pearls there. That was a great thrust by that offensive line.
That's some great freelancing on the part of Eric Field.
Let's check in now with Gary Sutton. Gary?
Well, you know, the first half, it was Central Bucks West throwing down the gauntlet and making Erie Cathedral Prep answer. Erie Cathedral Prep has been able to turn that whole thing around the second half, and now they make Central Bucks West answer again with only 6:23 to go in the game. And by the way, Walker getting some heel locks put on right now on that left ankle. It's an ankle injury. He's in some pain, but it looks like they're trying to get him ready to get back into the game.
35-28. Sorry, Mark.
Everything is advertised and more, right, fellas? 35-28, Central Bucks West and Erie Prep. When this high school football season kicked off back in September, this is the game everybody wanted to see. And these two heavyweights are slugging it out toe to toe.
We're looking at Heldecker, the senior kicker. They'll try and miss the return again. Is huge for CB West. They've used the kickoff return to get good field position all night long. Short. It's going to be to Giacomo. Giacomo, two hands around that football, and he's got it down to about the 35-yard line. Hit and drop by Don Brown. Well, they've got T-shirts. Buck season is over here on the prep side of the field. Somebody for Downingtown put a dead buck on the field and motivated this team, and they ended up blowing out the Whippets 39-14. I don't think that'll happen again. Now 6 minutes and 15 seconds. The three-time defending state champs have bounced off the deck before with a long drive, and they'll try and do it again. Here's James West. West is going to get caught, and he's going to get dropped. I believe it was Parsons over there to slow him down, and Dale Williams cleaned up from there.
Eric Field once again in the middle of things out of his defensive end spot. They're going to get a close-up of the ball, line of scrimmage. Here's Eric Field right here. Comes over from his defensive end spot. Watch the lateral pursuit.
There's Parsons
There's
first.
Parsons, Rush, Field, all right there. Easter, and Big Dale Williams, the 300-pounder, finishing the deal.
They lost a yard. Back to the 34, and there you're looking at Dale Williams. He'll have a busy phone bill next month. Play action by Oriole, looking. Not much open downfield. Good coverage, and he's hit and dropped. Eric Field. What a second half he's having, Mark. That's his 10th tackle of the night. He just scored the go-ahead touchdown.
Good.
Here you're looking at Eric Field chasing down Mike Oriole, makes a great shoestring tackle after fighting off a block. And like you said, Jed, oh yeah, he just scored the game-winning go-ahead touchdown moments ago. So Eric Field, what a tremendous second half of play. He's been all over that football.
Let's go to Gary Sutton. Gary?
I know Mark and I have been beating this to death all night, but that lateral pursuit has been the name of the game. The lateral speed that Erie Cathedral Prep has had all evening long is really coming to play very, very strongly here at the moment.
I wonder if we're going to see that halfback option pass. They tried it once in the first half. Here's Oriole looking, throwing down the middle, pass into the air and dropped by Ingram. That was almost intercepted by Walker, who left the field moments ago with a bad ankle, but he's back now, and we've got a flag. There might be roughing the quarterback.
Could be a late hit.
Williams. That's exactly what that is.
We're going to see it. Here's Mike Oriole. And there's Williams, and he takes a pop after
he got him
after the throw.
He took 2 steps into him.
Boy, another critical call.
This is second one now.
Critical mistake for Erie Prep.
4th and 15 it is. And it was almost intercepted.
Once again, Erie Prep.
We're roughing the passer on the defense. Automatic first down.
Oh, that's critical. I'll tell you, once again, Erie Prep snuffs out a CB West drive only to extend it with a very, very crucial penalty.
CB West's last 4 first downs have come by penalty.
That's amazing.
You just cannot, you know, it's like in baseball, you just can't give up more than 3 outs an inning, right?
That's right.
Here's Oriole. Oh, that's almost intercepted. Oh, that's bang, bang with Easter over there.
Oh, boy. I'll tell you.
At West hard.
This is one fired-up defense. Look at these guys. They're feeding off the emotion right now. Easter came up like a rocket, and he almost picked this ball off. He knew what was happening as soon as that ball was executed. As soon as that ball was snapped, Easter knew what was going on.
10th tackle for James Easter. He has been sensational tonight in that secondary. Coming up on run support there. 2nd and 13 right now.
Under 4 minutes to go.
Yeah, there's not much time left. West last year pulled a miracle. Elsing blocked a punt. Less than 3 minutes left. What do they got in the bag this time? Quick handoff. This is DiGiacomo's got a big hole. Has 5, has 10. Make it Bob Warden to the 41-yard line. Warden springs free. So they are down to the 41 of Prep. Let's get Gary Sutton involved. Gary, we're looking at that run up here. What do you got?
Well, I was going to say a moment ago that Erie Cathedral Prep has made Central Bucks West change their image and change their style. But what do? Come right back with that little old Notre Dame counter play and goes for big yardage, gets a first down, and now puts the clock on their side as they continue to march.
Needed a big play, so they got some fresh legs in there. Bob Warden picks up that big play for the CB West Bucks.
And once again, between the tackles.
They need the end zone for overtime, or maybe go for 2 and try and win it, but they've got to get there first. They throw it out. Pass is open. It's DiGiacomo. Make it Warden. He's still going to the 5, and he's out of bounds at the 12-yard line. Gain of 30 yards. 3:07 left, and they're on the move.
That roughing the passer penalty's getting bigger, looking all the time. There's Warden out of the backfield. Hauls in the little swing pass.
Lustig saved a touchdown.
Outruns the defender and gets knocked out of bounds right there at the 12-yard line.
How good is this game, buddy? 3:07 left.
We had thought last night's West Allegheny Strathaven game was a masterpiece. This is the main bout.
This is a beaut.
This has been everything that we had hoped it would be. You betcha. Well, they're at the 12. This is winning time, right? Here's DiGiacomo. Step around, move to the 9-yard line. Tick, tick, tick. As we're going to go under 3 minutes here in a little bit. Well, Bob Warden comes out and provides a huge spark. There's DiGiacomo, who's got 4 touchdowns tonight for CB West.
I'll tell you, things are tough in there.
He had 4 touchdowns earlier this year against Penridge. He also had 216 yards. He's doing a little more short distance work tonight.
And like you said, watch for him as a weapon on that halfback option. DiGiacomo did some time at quarterback this year for Central Bucks West. We saw it earlier. The pass fell incomplete, but DiGiacomo was fully capable throwing downfield out of the halfback spot.
Warden is into the game along with DiGiacomo. That's Potter in motion. They'll swing it for Warden. Cuts inside the 5. And he's about a yard shy of that first down. So it's going to be 3rd and short inside the 5. About the 4-yard line. He's got about 2 yards to go in there.
Oh, boy.
Well, it's 4-down country. I mean, they're going to get 2 plays here.
No question. But I'll tell you what, fellas, this is exactly what a Quad A championship game should look like.
Ted Donahue, Mark Shuey, the coach Gary Sutton, our WITF production crew. Delighted to have you on the Pennsylvania Cable Network. Here it is, 3rd and 2 from the 3-yard line. Quick handoff to DiGiacomo, spinning, leaning backwards like he's on a high jump.
What do you think,
Trying to get every inch. Gary, you're down there. What are you seeing?
Well, I'm going to say he's got it again. I missed it last time, but I think he's got it this time. He is going to be right on the spot. They're going to bring it out. It's going to be very, very close, but I think he's got it by the tip of the football.
So they're going to bring the chains in. Why don't we listen in on this a little bit? Let's bring our referee in, Alan Lubas, gang, downstairs. Gary, you can guide us through this a little bit. We've got everything hot down there.
Well, they're stretching it out right now. It's going to take it right out, and it's going to be, I think, just past the tip of the football. It's about 2 links of the chain. You can see it.
Great work, gang.
Arch got a ball. Arch got a ball.
Okay. Obviously, you're going for it here with 1:40 to go. I called quarterback sneak the last time. They went to Giacomo.
Guys, I got to get these eyes checked.
Well, the Erie
It's all right.
Prep,
It's tough.
there you see the Erie Prep faithful on their feet. They're starting to make some noise now, rooting on their defense. 2 links of the chain separates Central Bucks West from a first down here.
Here they come.
1:40 to go.
4th and an inch. DiGiacomo leaning. I don't know. Field got him. I don't think so.
I think he got it.
Do you?
Yes, I do.
On the spot.
Yes, I do.
They're going to call timeout. Now let's mic this thing.
The
Here
ball
we're going to see it
moved.
again.
The ball has moved from where it originally was. It is now at least a half a ball forward. I think he's got it by half a ball.
Can we bring the referee in, gang? Let's listen.
He's right. Gary's absolutely right.
I got my optometrist rating back again.
Let's see it again. This is how close it was. I mean, Prep really thought they had stopped this, Mark.
Yeah, initially I did too, but there was an initial surge.
Not much of one.
Yeah, not much of one at all. That ball moved only about six inches or so.
This crew is calmly working a brilliant game because they've just been very astute, bringing the chains in. Here we go. First and goal to go at the 2. Every inch has been gnarly. DiGiacomo, touchdown. He's in again. His 5th of the night. 35-34. Conversion coming. Wibberley has had one blocked tonight by Field. What a surge.
Well, we've seen this a couple of times tonight, haven't we? DiGiacomo from 1 yard out, touchdown run to potentially tie this game up. 6 points on the board. CB West there 1 point away from tying this baby up with 1:04 to go.
Here's the all-important extra point. Jim Wibberley, he is a junior. Snap down, the kick is good. We're tied at 35. A 10-play, 66-yard drive with 5:19 left.
Okay, Jed.
DiGiacomo with 5 touchdowns tonight, 30 carries and 111 yards.
There's the TD once again as DiGiacomo bowls his way into the end zone. On the extra point, I thought Jason Easter had a good shot at knocking that down and getting the mid on that thing. He came flying in from the far side once again. Jason Easter over here. Very close to knocking that thing down.
Gary, what do you have?
I got to tell you guys, how many times do you live up to a game like last year, 14-13? Here we stand again, 35-35, and we're talking about 1:04 left to go in this one. Is it he who has the ball last wins? We're about to find out.
All right, let me go over this overtime thing with you guys again. We did this last night, and Strathaven bounced it downfield. There's Mike Carey going, oh, I'm still alive. Yes, you are. By the really half a football on that 4th down play. The last overtime game was 94 with Mount Carmel and Forest Hills. There have only been 2 ever. There's never been one in quad, and they would each get shots at the 10-yard line.
10,000 plus here at the Hershey Park Stadium, and I guarantee it, no one has left their seat, let alone leave this stadium at this point.
Now watch CB West. We saw this last night a little bit with West Allegheny. They are great at like just doing some chip shot kickoffs. We'll see if they have one in play here.
Can Tim Dance come up with another big one?
Here they kick it high into the air. And it's caught, I believe, by Hinkle. Is that Hinkle? Yeah, it is.
Hinkle called for the fair catch.
Smart play. 1:04, 3 timeouts remaining. There's Gavin Potter of Central Bucks West.
Tremendous ball game for Gavin Potter tonight. Used him on the blitz a lot out of his linebacker spot. He is just one tough football player. 5 players, broken up a couple of passes. But the only mistake he made in the secondary is on their last touchdown drive for Prep, where Lustig got behind him a little bit.
And guys, Walker's back in the ball game. He was not in last series.
He looked fresh defensively, Gary, in that last series. I'm sure he's got some bolt to him. He's got touchdown runs of 67 and 61 yards in this game, and now
if you're Erie Prep,
they're going with a no-back look. Hinkle, they read that, and they are all over him at the line of scrimmage. See if West uses a timeout or 2 here. Down to 55 seconds left. And now we've got timeout. Prep.
That's
the chess match continues. These are 47 seconds. It may take a little while, gang.
That's Erie Prep's first timeouts. They've got 2 left. Want to talk things over right about now. 47 seconds left. Last night, the Strathaven West Allegheny AAA final, we saw Strathaven get control of the ball with, what, about 30 seconds left? marched 41 yards in 3 plays.
The big pass, Hannum from Connor.
Kicked a field goal with 1 second left to win the thing.
It was a bleeder, but it was effective. Gary, what do you got down there?
I'm just wondering right here, do you get content? I think they're talking about, do you get content with this, go to overtime and be happy, or do you go down the field a little bit? I think it's Erie Cathedral prep style to get down the field. I don't think they're ready to turn this one in just yet. 47 seconds on the clock. Lots of time right here if you can get one big play, but I think they're going to go for one big play and see what happens.
All right, now Prep has played an overtime game. We mentioned the escape against Altoona a couple of weeks ago. They had to go to double overtime. But to be honest with you, I really think CB West, you know, by tying this game, you know, Gary, you know, in basketball, Mark, I'll go to you first, and then Gary follow up on this. I favor West. I think they got a little bit more of a momentum, especially if they get a big stop defensively here.
Well, yeah, and I'll tell you what, throughout the game, I think West's offense has been more in sync, more consistent throughout the evening.
You have to be careful here, too, if you're Erie Cathedral Prep. Don't get too desperate for a score and make a mistake.
No turnovers.
Gray is into the game. Here they come. They throw it. They've got Lustig. He skipped it to him, and he was just walloped down. And a big time blitz coming from Pat Jarrett, senior.
They were looking to isolate a man out in the flat here and let him go one-on-one. If he could have caught the ball, if they could have gotten it to him, there was nothing but space in front of him the whole way down the right sideline.
See, now West may get another opportunity here, gang. They've got 2 timeouts left. Now that incompletion will stop the clock. And if they run, you definitely use one of those timeouts to try and get another opportunity.
Will Erie Prep be forced into another punting situation late in the tight ball game?
Another block?
Uh-oh. Certainly has to lay on your mind, doesn't it? Here it is. Goes to Walker. He's got a big hole. He's going to have the first down, and he gets out of bounds. No, he does not. Now Prep will call timeout. Now it's for Central Bucks West now, Gary. It's get to overtime and win it there. That's after the first down carry here.
Yeah, if you're Central Bucks West, your goal just changed big time. On the other side, Erie Cathedral Prep gets to continue what they want to do. And I think now they're in a part of the field where they can start to throw the ball long and not feel too bad about it. You know, Central Bucks West needs time to try to score, and Erie Cathedral Prep's going to talk it over one more time.
Juwan Walker limps off the field once again. He's been a true warrior tonight. He's been banged up all evening long. Tender heel. Bum ankle. But he's been a very fierce competitor tonight. Erie Cathedral Prep talking things over. I agree with you, Gary. I think you can take some more chances out here towards midfield. You can drop back.
You can try. You got to try and throw something. They need at least the 20 of CB West to have any hope at a game-winning field goal. And even there, it's going to be about a 39 or 40-yarder.
Yeah, so yeah, that's right. You're talking about 35, 40 yards in real estate that you're going to have to pick up here real quick in order to try a field goal.
The problem is that CB West is not going to give you a chance to throw the bomb right here. They're going to come blitzing. And I think what you want to do is try to beat that by going out to the flat. I think they had the right idea the last time down, just not able to throw it because the blitz came so fast. So if you can throw it almost like a screen pass out to the outside, there is some room down this right side to run.
Definitely want to keep everybody in front of you a little bit. You do agree, though, for West, it's get to overtime now, right, Gary?
Absolutely. There's no other goal right now for CB West, or else get a big defensive play and maybe you know, try to turn something in.
Unless there's a miracle turnover of some sort.
3 wide right.
Here's Hinkle back to throw. CB West, he's loading long, and he's going to overshoot everybody. He was intended, I believe, for Lustig downfield, and they doubled down on him at about the 25-yard line.
And Lustig stumbled on his route. He lost a couple of steps.
Right now, I think if you're CB West, basically you're back there just trying to get to overtime, as Jed said. But if you're Erie Cathedral Prep, you got 3 more bombs to throw right here, and if you get an interception down there, it's almost like a punt.
Now, each team in overtime gets the ball at the 10-yard line. You get 1 series, and you go from there. Each team gets an opportunity, and we play until there's a winner.
One of Prep's game breakers, Tim Dance, coming in with the new play. Number 22, watch for him.
He's been a big-time guy today with a 90-yard kickoff return. Hinkle back. Hinkle's great on his feet. He's got some open space and a great open field tackle. I'll tell you what, Hinkle's got about 20 or 25 more yards in him if Gavin Potter doesn't bring him down there.
That should be Erie's last time out. Yeah, you're absolutely right. Hinkle gets past the line of scrimmage, turns it upfield, and there's Gavin Potter once again staying home into his linebacker spot.
Well, here's where you pull out your park play right now. You be the Coke bottle cap, run down the right side. This is where you really pull out the old Stanford band play. And if you got one in your repertoire, this is maybe where you use it right now.
Well, what you do is, I guess you'll put 4 wide, and you run them down to the same side of the field, and you just hope for a bounce at this point, or an interference call, penalty, and then try it again.
Yeah, just throw it up and get it down there somewhere down in field goal territory. That's basically what you want to do, and let it fly.
One of the wildest finals in the history of this tournament, the wildest final, and there's Walker, and that's got to be a huge concern. And, I don't think that ankle's been the same since Gene Rich kind of pulled at it a little bit.
That's exactly right.
Rich has had a sensational game tonight up front for Central Bucks West.
Credit Walker, he's been back on the bench, getting his ankle treated, back into the ball game. He wants to go out there and compete.
Walker wearing much of that PIAA logo on his uniform. That's how much he's been involved. Here's Hinkle. Going to throw a little screen, and it's broken up on 3rd and 5. Beautifully so by, again, Fran Golden, who's been all over the place tonight. Now you've got an intriguing situation. 13 seconds left. Is it an unlucky 13 in the punt game for Erie Cathedral Prep on 4th and 5?
Well, if you're Erie Cathedral...
I don't know if you're punting here. I'd almost run a play and dare them to go into the end zone.
Yeah, I think you go right now. You throw the bomb and use it like a punt if they intercept it. They won't intercept it, but even there, you've only got a few seconds left after the play's over. The field's still short. They're going to
block the punt. They're really not setting up a block that I can see. Kind of a high snap. I'll tell you, almost getting there. For West was Scholl. And here's the Giacomo, and he gets out of bounds with 3 seconds remaining. And we're closing in on OT here, gang.
Well, this is what a lot of people figured the championship game between these two would look like. 35-35. A couple of ticks left on the clock in regulation. Central Bucks West, a 59-game winning streak. On the line, Erie Cathedral Prep. Both ranked nationally, both undefeated, and both vying for the Quad A state title.
All at the 26, they'll take a knee. It's overtime here, gang. OT. They get a standing ovation, as well they should. Quite a show they have put on. 35-35. We'll get a coin toss here for overtime. So the 3rd overtime ever in the history of the tournament, and the first since we were in Altoona at Mansion Park in 1994. Both the overtimes have come in Double-A.
I was going to say, this is the first Quad A overtime, if I'm not mistaken.
First one was Hanover Area Canavan Catholic back in 1990, won by Hanover Area at a District 2, 20-19, and then Mount Carmel beat Forest Hills in that game we were at, 20-14 in double OT. So this is just the 3rd overtime, and as Mark aptly pointed out, the first ever in Quad A.
Well, we talked about Juwan Walker, the fine tailback for Erie Cathedral Prep. What a tremendous effort he has put forth tonight as we look at Mike Carey, Central Bucks West, in his first year at the helm. Juwan Walker, 12 carries, 167 yards. To Giacomo for Central Bucks West, 30 carries, 111 yards, 5 touchdowns to boot.
Let's go to Gary. Go ahead, Gary.
Well, and it's kind of interesting here. What do you do right now? Do you want to be the first one to have the ball and score, put the heat on the other team, or do you want to know what you have to do and be the second one to have the ball?
Yeah, the common adage always is you want to go on defense first. That way you know what you got to do. So we had this debate last night as to whether or not we like this format at the 10-yard line. College, you go to the 25-yard line, and if you go beyond double overtime, you have to go for 2 at that point.
Right.
Really, the kicking game is kind of a non-equation in this. In that overtime win, it was Lustig who came up big. They had hit a 4th and goal play from the 3 against Altoona in that game, and then finally Hinkle did a 10-yard quarterback draw in double overtime and won that, and they ended up surviving in double overtime, 27-20. As soon as the captains come toward the midfield area, we will take you live inside with referee Alan Lubas. Gary, what do you think? Do you go to the 20 and, you know, you got to get one first down at least in OT?
Well, I really like the college rule. I mean, the 25-yard rule seems to be fairly reasonable, and I don't think that's unreasonable for high school either. It gives you some options. It gives you a chance to kick the field goal and so forth. And I'd just like to see him go to that. Well, the 10 yards is just kind of one that's outlived its usefulness. Not that it's used that often here, but certainly these two teams have played too hard all night to decide something in 10 yards.
Or like soccer, Gary, do co-champions. That'd almost be the way to go with this thing tonight.
Well, yeah, I mean, you look at this game tonight. I
brilliant.
mean, both teams can walk away with gold, and I don't think you'd feel bad about it at all. But the
They're going to settle it.
Yeah, here we go.
All right, let's go to the middle of the field right now. All right, gang, bring us in.
Okay, gentlemen, going to overtime. A couple things I want to go over. Remember, the timeouts that you had remaining in regulation carry over to the next overtime period. That goes for CB West. You have an over. You have 2 timeouts that carry over to the overtime.
It says 3 up there. Let's say 3? Yeah.
You have 2 timeouts remaining to carry over. You have none remaining.
However, for the start of the overtime.
But for each overtime period, you do get an extra timeout. Remember.
Officially have 1, and you have 3 CBW.
So
start the overtime. We have 3.
Yeah, for the overtime. CB West, you're the visiting team, so you're going to be calling the toss. Okay.
Coaches here, or?
Okay, Coach. Do you have any questions about the overtime? Remember, the defense cannot advance the ball, and once we pick an end of the field, we're going to stay at that. So your options are offense, defense, or the end of the field. Okay? Okay, let us do the coin toss. I'm going to flip it. I'm going to let it hit the ground. Call it while it's in the air.
Tails.
He called it tails. It's ahead. You're going to go on defense. Which end of the field?
Take that. Yeah, we'll go right down here.
Okay, you're going to turn this way. Back here. Right, the defense.
They're on defense.
They're on defense here. Yeah. You're going this end of the field. You're going to have the ball first. Okay, fellas, shake hands. We're ready to go.
All right, get ready to rumble, right? Get ready to rock and roll here, overtime, and we'll play until there's a winner.
Well, there's the story. You know,
they explained it all for you there. You can't advance the ball defensively. So there's a fumble. You can't see somebody like in return it for a touchdown.
And you know, these overtimes can go and go and go and go if each team scores. In fact, Penn Ridge and Quakertown, I believe back in mid-November, played a 6 overtime game.
Good pickup, Mark. That's right. 6 OTs.
6 OTs.
We play till there's a winner,
You
period.
play till there's a decisive winner.
So if you're sitting at home watching us here on PCN, we're delighted. Pull up a chair, warm, and watch this finish.
You know, guys, it's been kind of interesting to listen to Alan Lubis and his team here tonight working. I don't think people get a chance to see just how tightly they work and all the things they go through and how professionally they handle things. And that was just an excellent job there of kind of laying out everything that the kids had to think about at this particular point.
It was really quiet, Gary. You know what I'm saying? I mean, everybody's kind of exhausted from playing, and there's just kind of that tense. All right, let's go do it.
Well, I think it's about to heat back up here, so listen.
Yep, here we go. All right. Overtime, right? 35-35. Each team gets a crack from this end of the field. Here comes West now. On offense. Motion man is Potter. Pitch goes to Bob Warden. He's had a big night, especially in that big touchdown drive that tied this thing. And he stopped at about the 7-yard line. Prep did win the coin toss and elected to go on defense. This gives them an idea of what they need to do.
By the way, 7 touchdowns were scored in this second half of play here tonight. There's another big play by Eric Field, defensive end.
That's
slowing up
tackles. He's been all over the place, Mark. He's just been fabulous tonight for them.
Sure has.
He had their last touchdown as well.
That's right.
Here we go.
14-yard run.
Second and goal at the 7 here in the first overtime for Central Bucks West. 59-game winning streak on the table here. Goes to Warden, ducks under Dale Williams, but gets caught in the wash for no gain. He may have gotten to the 6, and that's about all. Guess who? Big Charles Rush coming up on the bottom, number 59 in orange.
And watch, you're going to look at it from the end zone. Big number 74. Look at the strength here. Just one arm, and he slows up Warden. Rush comes in to seal the deal.
Got to roll Oriole out and go to the air, the way it looks right now. There's the Erie Cathedral Prep. They say Bucks season is over. Central Bucks West says not so fast. We're thinking about 3rd and goal at the 7, and there's a guy that's had a heck of a night, Matt Parsons. He has been all over the place. Here we go. Quickly out. 4 seconds. They're using one of the timeouts. On the timeout situation, they now have 2 remaining. You get one as Alan Lubas rather explained, and it carries over. So they ended up getting an extra timeout. So they have 2 remaining. Good timeout there. Gary, what do you got? That's a crowded sideline, by the way. Everybody's kind of out now.
Yeah, everybody's
down on the field to see this baby.
Yeah, they all moved in down here. I mean, it's a pretty
we get a shot.
Group.
Is there anybody left in the press box but us and the coaches right now?
No, I thought there's a few guys up there right now, but they're just getting the hot dogs that were left. And you know, right now you look at this. The one play that they used a little bit earlier, I was kind of haunted by. We said how good they've been between the tackles, so it was that little misdirection play that was so good to them earlier here in the 4th quarter. And I wouldn't be surprised to see him come back to something like that right now. Remember that Erie Cathedral Prep has taken away the lateral game all night long, and so I think something here where you kind of misdirect with a little sprint out by the quarterback, but maybe the delayed handoff might be something that would be in the playback.
Yeah, I agree with you, Gary. I think a little play-action pass. Mike Oriole has really sold the fake very well all evening long. I think something like that may work very well right here.
That picture tells you everything you need to know about this football game.
That looked like the weight of a 59-game winning streak on the line.
The seniors have never lost a football game since they've been on campus. Power I formation here. It's 3rd and goal on the 7 on the opening overtime. Here's that option pass, and he threw it incomplete. Giacomo had it open there momentarily. He was looking for Zach Ingram, and now they're facing 4th and possibly the season here.
Well, they were looking for the right spot, a big spot in this ball game to use this particular play. Halfback option. Giacomo did some time at quarterback this year for Central Bucks West. Throws a nice ball. Incomplete, however.
He may have rushed it a little bit, Mark. He had a little bit more time in there than I think he thought he might have had.
Well, that's right. And I don't think he really waited for the receiver to clear his route.
They're going to go for the whole shebang here, the whole Magilla. They're not going to kick a field goal and then win. Oh, now they're going to think about it.
They're going to talk it over right now.
I don't know if you kick a field goal. I think you got to try and get something out of this, and then let your defense try and keep them out.
Well, the ball's dead in front of the goalpost right here. The field goal kicker has more than enough juice to put it on from there.
Wibberley's fine. I mean, he's had one extra point block tonight, and I know that Jason Easter has come around the edge and has almost gotten a couple too, Mark.
Yeah, that's what you got. You've got to think of that. Jason Easter has very narrowly almost blocked a couple of extra points. Wind is not a factor at all. Like you said, the ball is smack dab in front of the goalposts. It'd be about a 14-yarder from there.
Well, he's looking at about a 21, 22-yarder.
22-yarder, right.
Yeah, so. Yeah, they brought Wibberley in. This is the move here. He's got the right call in. I think they thought that over, Mark, and said, wait a minute, let's get something out of this.
Right.
All right, the hold is to Giacomo. Watch number 4. He's on the top of your screen right there.
He's up here.
For Erie Cathedral Prep. Snap is down, and it's blocked. Fields got it, but I'll tell you, Easter got in there. So here it is. I think Easter attempted to blow this up a little bit, and he hit a low line drive.
Yeah, it was a tough snap.
Fields got it, I believe, on the block. Let's see it from this angle.
Yeah, I believe you're right. Eric Fields.
Nope, it was Dale Williams.
Dale Williams,
6'7".
big number 74.
Yeah,
hit his elbow right there.
All right, here we go. Erie Cathedral Prep, a 59-game winning streak is at stake. Hinkle, and he hands it off, and maybe a yard. And that is it. And the warmer on the sideline is blowing up and blowing smoke all over the place.
Looks like the thing caught fire.
I think it short-circuited. They had a major issue behind the Erie Cathedral bench. Everybody on a knee. If we get that shot, they're all on a knee, gathered around. There's Jawan Walker. He's standing next to the coach. We'll get it after the play. We are in the first overtime. CB West has not scored. Hinkle, handoff, goes for Easter. He's still going to the 4-yard line. They're closing in.
3rd and 3.
They're definitely within field goal range. Nicky has hit 5 extra points tonight, and there they are gathered around. Go ahead, Gary.
Jed, you're 1 yard away from hitting an extra point, essentially, is what you're looking at.
Quickly off. They're getting David Edwards. One of the truly big state dynasties is closing in on crumbling down. What a football game. Handoff. It's Walker, and they've won it! 41-35. Big block, Charles Rush, Casey Parsons. Hello, PIAA Quad A Championship in an absolute classic, 41-35. And the 3-time defending state champs are about as tough and out as you're ever going to see.
Well, that's about as good a football game as you're ever going to see anywhere, any level. And there's a guy who just left everything on the field right there. Juwan Howard.
Juwan Walker was
Juwan Walker, rather. Juwan Walker, 5'11".
3rd touchdown of the night.
170-pound junior. He has played a whale of a ball game.
Well, there is no way to describe what we have seen over the last couple of hours here on PCN, other than it is truly one of the greatest games ever played in this state's history. It's certainly up there among the pantheon of all time. There's really, you can instantly hype this. The old word, instant classic. Gary, I think it qualifies, don't you?
There's no question about it, Chet. I mean, the last 2 nights we've seen 2 of the most stupendous games ever. When it happens in 4A, which is the main event, you absolutely go home stunned. For Central Bucks West, they'll go home feeling like this is the end of the world. They've been champions for so long. For Erie Cathedral Prep, they were the pretenders to the crown, and they stepped up here tonight in big, big time. I don't know what Mike Mister said at halftime, but his team came out smoked in the second half and stood tall, and they walk away with the gold.
Here comes the game-winning touchdown as we watch Central Bucks West and Erie Cathedral Prep shake hands. Here's the winning score. Juwan Walker finds a seam.
How about Joe DePrey, the linebacker, in there throwing a little extra muscle around?
I'll tell you what, this game, as advertised, we said it before, we'll say it again, a lot of people have been looking forward to this matchup since these 2 met here last year.
They had to survive a double overtime thriller against Altoona 2 weeks ago, and here they are now.
And what other state has 2 top 10 nationally ranked teams playing head-to-head in an overtime game in the Quad A Championship? It's absolutely amazing. It's a kind of a storybook finish to this entire season. Cathedral Prep ranked 5th by USA Today, 5th by Fox Sports nationally, 2nd in the nation by ESPN. Central Bucks West, 8th in the nation by USA Today. Fox Sports has them at number 7. ESPN has CB West at number 7. So nationally, these 2 programs get a lot of attention, and why not? Look at the quality of football we saw here tonight at Hershey Park Stadium.
Well, this doesn't happen a lot for CB West.
Yeah.
On the short end of a 41-35 overtime thriller today.
Hasn't happened since what, 1996?
Against Plymouth Whitemarsh. It's a long time. I just really don't know what more to say here, gang, other than this was just sensational.
Well, the
T-shirts. It was great to be here for this. Really was.
The T-shirts that the Erie Prep faithful are wearing, Buck's season's over. Well, their season wasn't over. Their season was a great season.
He's done such an elegant job replacing one of the truly great coaches in this state, in Mike Patton. I know he's disappointed. Gary, it's tough. You know, there really wasn't a winner. There was a survivor in this. This is just a great event here tonight and all weekend long. Go ahead, Coach.
Well, I got to tell you, Jed, these guys ran and grabbed the trophy. It looked like raising the flag at Iwo Jima. I got to tell you, and you see the great picture there. I mean, these kids just wanted this so badly, and they all have a hand on it somewhere right now. It's got to be a great feeling for Erie Cathedral Prep, especially after last year's heartbreaker, and they have more than atoned for it here tonight. They are the Pennsylvania State Champions 4A.
You know, this football game reminded me of two heavyweight fighters. Kind of felt each other out in the early moments. First half ended with the score 13-7. The time of possession was lopsided heavily in the favor of Central Bucks West. But then in the second half, that's when the haymakers started flying. That's when the fireworks began. We saw 7 touchdowns, a lot of big plays from Erie Cathedral Prep. 61-yard touchdown run by Jawan Walker, a 90-yard TD on a kick return from Tim Dance. So we saw a lot of everything tonight, but we saw, most of all, 2 great football teams, 2 great football programs going head-to-head. And the 10,000 plus that were here at the Hershey Park Stadium were the winners as well. We were treated to this excellent game.
You know what I'm really glad to see is 90% of the CB West fans staying over there to cheer on their kids. Even, you know, it's a silver medal, but I mean, what a spectacular run. I mean, Gary, from a coach's standpoint, I mean, put 59 wins in a row to me into perspective. I mean, 1996, it is just unbelievable what they have accomplished. And, you know, they just fell up 6 points short tonight in LT.
You know, part of what makes you win is the fear of losing as a coach. But watching the Central Bucks West kids over there and their fans, when you can win graciously, you also understand and respect another team coming out here and throwing it down as Erie Cathedral Prep did tonight. You also know how to lose graciously. Both teams showing a lot of class, both sets of fans showing a lot of class here. Boy, I'll tell you what, it makes you proud to be part of Pennsylvania athletics tonight.
No question. We have so many people to thank for a spectacular weekend here. Everybody involved with Hershey, the gracious hosts that they are for this football festival all weekend long. Gary and Mark, it was wonderful working with you guys as always, and what a way to finish out this weekend, wasn't it?
Boy,
41-35. Just awesome.
True classic of a football game.
Great working with both you guys as always. Let's do it again next year.
Absolutely. And again, everybody statewide, thank your local cable company for carrying the Pennsylvania Cable Network, because they are raising the bar and taking these games and providing them for you on a statewide basis. And I think you'll agree with me that it was a pretty good idea to show a 41-35 overtime game around the state tonight and all weekend long. That this was easily the best sporting event, period, on TV today in Pennsylvania.
No question
including this afternoon.
And I'll tell you what, thank the crew at WITF, provide remarkable pictures and sound, piping it right into your living room through PCN. Pennsylvania wins tonight with this football game.
Yeah, that's a great way of putting it. The All-State wins. There's everybody that made it happen all weekend long. For Mark Shuey, for Gary Sutton, our entire crew, I'm Jed Donahue. A classic win for Erie Prep. Cathedral Prep 41, Central Bucks West 35. Good night, everybody.
You've been watching PCN's exclusive coverage of PIAA Championship Football on PCN.
PCN's presentation of regular season high school sports contests is underwritten by Pennsylvania Cable Television Companies, delivering local, state, and national sports programming, and by Homework Help on PCN.